Well, it was all that I could do to keep from crying. Sometimes it seems so useless to remain. But you don't have to call me darling, darling. You never even call me by my name. Yes, Kitty, I was singing. And oh my God, what is going on here? Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those. Okay, I get it. God, fucking cat.
Hi, Blackout.
Oh my God. Okay, so um, still a little bit of trial and error. More error than trial. Because of course we've got the new OBS setup. Yes, Blackout. What the fuck is this? It's the new OBS setup. The setup that I have. Um, and you know, since you're actually conscious, we should throw him a link.
Yeah, I like Blackout.
If I can find him. Oh yeah, most of my conversations with him has been mostly Discord. So gonna have to scroll down.
Hi, Psycho Fire.
Good morning, Psychofire. No, fuck.
Hi, Joe.
Oh, he changed it. Oh, Blackout, you have that sad, reflective avatar now. That's what threw me off. There we go. There's a link for you. Now, I'm hoping because there's some fuckery going on because for some reason the Hangout isn't flipping back and forth between Kadunt and myself.
Well, that's fine. I'm pretty sure they can tell the difference between our voices, so it doesn't entirely matter.
Yeah, I know, but when we get more people in here, then the fuckery is really going to begin.
Hi, John Doe. And I think if we did get more people in, there's more likely of a chance for it to flip back and forth. I think. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, I freaking hope so.
Good morning.
Good
Hey, Black.
morning.
You sound like you're doing good.
See,
it's early in the morning. I woke up, jumped on a stream. Oh fuck, my camera's on.
It's all right. It's not clicked on you. It's not showing you at the moment. Oh,
there we go. I fixed it.
there is well, because you know it's not as sad and reflective as the one that you have on your Twitter now.
Yeah, it's just sad. It's not reflective anymore.
Hey, Joke. I tossed you the link if you would like to hop in, because I don't necessarily know what the hell's going on. I don't know if you want to talk about it, BTS, but
shit's going
cool
in there.
too. I am completely okay with it. There was just a yes. Good morning, John Doe. Good morning, Gio.
Hi, Gio.
Yeah, there was a tweet sent out, and my name was attached to it, and it was a tweet that Rary sent out. Now I did also send out the link to Rary, so you know there's not going to be any Jerry Springer going on.
Oh, I'm not having that. Yeah. Simple as that. I'm not having that Jerry Springer nonsense. Oh, you're staying off streams, Joker?
He's He's been overexposed.
Nah, it's understandable.
Oh wait, I should let the other fun things start rolling. So if you guys get bored just looking at the images of our heads popping back and forth,
Hmm.
I have
He's gonna do something
assembled
special.
very many clips of people being insomniacs for everyone to enjoy.
That makes sense.
And
Yep.
and if you did notice the notice on the left side that says you must be at least this tall to ride, it's set right at Cadunt's height.
How do you know how tall I am?
Because you told me.
Oh yeah, I forget. I forget a lot of things.
So 4 foot something.
No,
Now
I'm
it's a
five
little
five.
bit over 5 foot.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
Um, how you doing though, Blackout? And by the way, that picture you posted with you in your shirt, like, don't worry if your camera's on. Um, but that picture you posted was adorable. You look
Uh,
so thrilled.
which one? I did
Um,
actually order like 2 rounds of it because I got my own merch, and then Lord Byron made some other T-shirt for me and Joker.
Um, yeah, Byron's got the merch cranking out,
Oh yeah,
and
he's always got some fun art.
I hope I hope people are enjoying the gifts as they roll. I spent like 2 hours today going through just uh, finding weird ones, and I did make sure I've got all the Streamlabs shit hooked up. So if anybody wants to play with that, then that's available too. Actually, I originally had it set up as um, the whole thing was the Sesame Street themed, and then I'm like, yeah, nah. So the only thing I kept was the sign and the children's television workshop that I put the with Doc Griffin, Cadunt, and friends on. Oh, there we go. Okay, well, I'm kind of enjoying looking at it. It almost looks like it's professional.
nah,
I'm liking
close
it.
enough.
Now that chick with the blinky eyes though is creepy.
What do you think, Blackout?
But
About the look?
I think it's decent.
Who's
I'm
the
not.
old man?
That's the thing. I can't look at this for that long because I'm gonna get a fucking headache after a while. That's
Well,
my problem.
I made sure to switch in and out, you know, like between cartoons and
Yeah,
real and
Is it the background?
yeah, it is.
is
Some
That's
people.
the reason.
is the background freaking you out?
Not freaking me out. I just know that I'm gonna get a headache from that background after a while. Also, I see a
Oh,
hey man, nice shot in the chat.
yeah, I was about to say, hey man, nice shot. And John Doe is saying you should use Insomnia by Faithless for your intro or outro.
Um, that means I would get a strike.
No,
No, just sing it and,
you will
and
get
don't sound
a
like Pink Floyd.
Oh, I don't know the song, but I'll look it up.
yeah, no, you usually get claimed, not striked. Strike, that means that your streaming capabilities are gonna be restricted.
Okay, well, how's that look for you? The time that you're on, I will suppress
Yeah,
the background for you.
just keep it on. I got the pop out chat, so I can actually read the chat.
See, I'm a boomer, so I don't know what that means.
Basically means that I only have the chat on screen. I don't have the visuals.
Oh, thank you, Alex. It was a very subdued day for the 10th anniversary. We really didn't do much, but except get along, and that's. I believe if you look up on the Hallmark anniversary card of what you're supposed to get somebody for the 10th anniversary, I believe it's peace of mind.
Whatever you do, just give the wife your yeses and or agreements to whatever it is she's saying.
Yeah, I gave her huggies. I got all the trash together. Um, I'm gonna set up a station. I got a, nightstand to put next to her chair up in the office, and I'm gonna put on it a a docking station to where she can plug in all of her shit
Oh, that'll
and
be
charge
good.
it up because she is critically horrible. As far as it goes with being able to keep things charged. But I figure if I put it all in one place, that she'll be able to do it. And yeah, joke. We can talk. We can talk afterwards as far as it goes. I can screenshot it and send it to you. But uh, things that were said in the actual tweet, um, I know not to be true because of the fact that Rory doesn't run in the same BTS circles anymore that we run in, and yeah, if I know personally that if you had a problem with me, uh, it would have been you would have DM'd me within like 20 seconds saying, "Hey, we got to talk," and that DM never came, and um, so yeah, yeah, I don't personally have an issue at this point. Um, well, that's actually a very good question, Alex. I can throw this up quick.
Yeah.
This is the deal for November. The first week is going to be Jim Wynorski. The second week is going to be Ginger Lynn. And then the third is Random Encounters. Closing out the month is going to be David Cummings from the No Sleep Podcast.
Oh, hey, Geo is saying, Doc, you're very low.
You gotta turn up the microphone audio on the OBS.
Or maybe I just need to talk closer. I don't know if how's that? You guys can tell me how it's working. And actually, I'm not that low today. It was a pretty good day today.
Yeah,
We didn't get
usually
any
I'm used
bills
to.
that said that shit was getting shut off. And the child got cigarette coupons from American Spirit. Get $3 off a pack, which I guess only makes them like $20 now.
Oh, that's yeah. But
American Spirits may be all healthy and all that shit, or healthier. Because it's all natural. They don't put any chemicals in it. But goddamn, if I'm gonna bother paying for, they are a legit like $10 a pack, and around here normally it's about $5 or $6 for like a pack of Marlboros. I don't know. I honestly have not bought any in a long time because I've been doing I've been getting the bags of pipe tobacco and doing the tube rolling.
Alex is saying that works, and Nicholas is saying, by the way, Doc, how dare you say Ween is over? Ween is forever. All glory to Bugnish.
Oh man, I'm trying to think of what was the one song that the many colors in the homo rainbow. That's an awesome song. And by the way, good morning, Nicholas.
what I hate more is that it was October and Christmas movies were already on fucking TV. Yeah, no, that's a thing.
Yeah, although Shout Factory, if you guys aren't subscribed to the Shout Factory website, they take their horror cult classics movies and they run them all October. And there's some. Uh, wait a minute. Yeah, see, okay, joke. I'll say this. I know that when you're giving me shit, you're just busting my balls because, and yeah, I will use the F word. That's what friends do. They will bust your balls. So, um, the whole thing about him saying that there was trash talking going on. Apparently, he's never been in the realm where like men trash talk themselves.
No, apparently not.
So
Who knows?
yeah, dude, I'll screenshot it and send it to you. It's douchey.
Why can't we all just get along and have fun on the internet?
Yeah, I mean
Because
that's
people are drama whores.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cadun had a rant built for this one.
You know, sometimes, and today was not the best of days for me, so I was in a mood. I'm still in a mood. I'm always in a mood. Who am I fucking kidding?
Um, well, what actually sparked this here mood?
Well, I found out yesterday that my high heels are broken. One of my heels is broken. It's the front though, so it's not the actual heel, but it's like I don't have the appropriate kind of glue to just glue it back together, and I don't know how well that would have worked anyway. So that helped start, and then it was it was just a long day.
Yeah, and I'll say this: what I sent, joke. Uh, I'm not looking to start any more shit between the two of you. This is simply information. You
By the
know,
way, hi Karen.
just staying a little informed. Yeah, tonight was weird, man. I got on TrippyCast, and if you guys don't listen to TrippyCast, you really should. It's a lot of fun. Um,
it's not in the middle of the fucking night for
yeah,
me.
well, yeah,
Look,
and
I'm already appearing on like 4 streams a day. I can't. I no. I need sleep.
It it's all right, Blackout. We
Uh,
hold no expectations of you being on every single stream or watching every single stream that
well,
we're
I
on or that we
try.
watch. You do really good.
Uh,
I heard you early on Ren stream. You sounded
yeah,
very high energy.
I literally just woke up and got sent a link.
no, I guess that's your own damn fault for being conscious, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess because
How
my
dare you?
sleep schedule is fucked. Like I went to
Well
sleep
then,
at like 11 and woke up at 5.
well
Ugh.
that's a good solid 6 hours.
No, it wasn't a solid 6 hours because I woke up like 18 times.
So that's a good amount of something. You
It's
sound
it's
like
a
me, shit.
it's enough of naps.
Did I
It's
say good
okay.
morning to Karen? Good morning, Karen. If I didn't,
No need to stress over it, Blackout. Listen, these are just streams, and just because you get a link, you don't have to be on every single one that you get a link to. You know. Otherwise, you'll wind up being like Joker was for how long? Like how many? He was doing like what? 20 streams a day or something like that.
Yeah, he got turned into a nubbin quick.
Oh yeah.
I mean, people don't realize, having to get onto a stream, and uh, I won't say there's an audience expectation. I will say that there's a personal expectation that when you get on a stream, you want to be entertaining. You don't want to be the guy who's like, yeah, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Morning Hex. Hey,
Heck,
anti-hero.
I'm going to say morning to Hex and Antihero, and apparently that's Hex's hint that he wants to come on.
Hint, hint. I fixed my audio. Hint, hint.
Oh, good. Maybe it doesn't sound like trash.
You mean we'll actually be able to hear him this time?
Yeah. Exactly.
All right. I'm gonna give my my okay fine Hex can have a link under the condition that A, we
Fix
can
your
hear him,
audio.
and B, if we can hear him, it better be worth something hearing. Like,
Like what?
Better bring
Come
something to the
out?
table.
nah, I don't really care. You don't have to bring anything to the table. Just come on, enjoy. No drama. If you want to try and start drama, Kadunt is in a Kadunty mood and is ready to backhand your fucking ass verbally.
Yeah, I got a feeling that, the bouncer for the show tonight. Oh, by the way, I did have to add derpy dreaming of muffins by request.
Oh hell yeah! Hey,
And
Kuna Dome.
Hey,
Oh
Ichabod.
God, I forgot to say the thing. Oh well, whatever. It's a holiday.
he gets a pass tonight.
Yeah, he'll get a pass for it's one night only, until I'm told otherwise.
I didn't know if you wanted to throw out to a antihero or not.
No, that's up to him. I know he had a long day today, so.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, why he actually
Anti-hero.
takes Clonopin. That's one of her. God damn, I think she's taken about 14 different meds every night now. But it's funny because like a third of them are to counteract the side effects of the ones that work.
All right, so Karen wants us to give her spoopy stories, hauntings and shit.
God damn it! Hold on for just a second.
October is done. It's November now. Please.
For you, it's still October. For me, do the thing, motherfucker.
Oh, so it's time for Christmas stories. Okay, I got you.
No. We're going off of Kadunt time, and Kadunt time is like behind everybody else's. So
I prefer Australian time.
It's already the middle of the next day.
Yeah, exactly.
Alex, if you need to mark your calendar, it's going to be November 13th. That's when Ginger Lynn's going to be on. And I did throw links. I threw links to the Coon of Doom. I threw links to our pal Hex because he wants to prove that his sound is not shit.
Well, if it's not shit, then maybe there'll be a game stream later on today. Maybe.
I'll take it.
What are you gaming?
Well, we were playing some Dead by Daylight earlier. I mean, last night. Fuck. Brain work. And Hex's audio was fucking shit.
good morning, Sisyphus. And yeah, my audio does not go up any higher than what I'm looking at right now.
Hi, Sisyphus.
If you OD on APAP, you get sick and vomit it up. It doesn't cause immediate cirrhosis or withdrawal.
There it goes.
Hey, Ichabod.
Hey, Doc. Hey, Blackout?
Asshole.
I always have to make sure it's actually you because your account does not show the same goddamn thing.
Yeah,
What thing?
I'm kind of a boomer about the avatars too.
Yeah, I was trying to get my avatar to function correctly, but for some reason it keeps trying to switch to the one I use for my PayPal, and that one is not for that.
Fair enough, fair enough.
So how are you doing?
I don't think I've seen that avatar before.
That's because it's purely a stealth account used for my PayPal and a few other, like, financial things.
Oh.
It used to be a friend's, and it's still tied to their bank account.
Ah, okay.
Good to know.
Good morning.
Oh.
Drew.
Oh, what the fuck, Hex?
Hello.
Holy shit,
Yeah,
I can hear him.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow,
It doesn't sound like you're talking through a fucking $2 headphone.
I reinstalled audio drivers and that fixed it somehow.
Well played.
Yeah.
That seemed to do the trick.
And a good morning to Fright Supremacist and Patrice.
Hey, Bright Supremacist. Hi, Patrice.
So Ichabod, what do you think of the new setup?
I think you figured out how to use OBS.
One step.
way of putting it.
That's one step at least.
Oh, so it's the polite route, huh?
Well, I also realized that while I was talking with Bridge that I can absolutely do the same nurse voice she did.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Apparently so, yeah.
Well, you heard her giving words of advice to Sean Cunningham before we went on air, right?
I kind of, sort of.
I was gonna send a hush it, don't chase him away.
Don't scare him off. Bridge,
Man, I'm sad I missed that on that.
the doc
God
sent
damn
you.
it.
Oh, it was a damn good interview.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't necessarily proud of myself, but he got back to me afterwards, and he was like, "Yeah, I really enjoyed that." And so I'm like, "Okay, cool. You enjoyed that. Let me send you this then. If you have any of your friends who would like to come on to the show, please feel free and pass me over an email or a phone number, because that's how I got to you."
Good God. Doc is just one of those people that gets a hold of people that he has no business actually being able to get a hold of. It's like his fucking ass is made of voodoo powers. And somehow it allows him to talk to celebrities, and it pisses me right off.
I
Well,
like the gree. I appreciate that voodoo. Aye.
Powered ass.
So I saw something while I was going through some of my old stuff that I've watched before. Doc, have you ever heard of Dick Kickham?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to read to you Dick Kickham's most famous quote.
Okay.
Are you ready for this?
I am prepared.
It's time to kick gum and chew ass. And I'm all out of ass.
With respects to Roddy Piper.
Oh, you sent it for me? Okay.
Oh, hey, Kadun, do you want to try that thing where you unsub and sub to see if it drops into the pill glass?
I already did. I think because it was a quick unsub and sub, it didn't do the thing.
Here,
So,
I'll do it on one of my ults.
oh yeah,
Do it on all your alts.
do the thing.
I mean, I have like 5 ults.
Do it with all of them.
I only have
Alright.
3. Because really early, I was talking to when both were still friendly. I was talking to AP and Ghastly, and they were just like, you know what? Expect to be shut down. Put your alt up right now. I know you're only co-hosting, but put an alt up. Have one ready to go. And I was like, I don't do anything offensive. Although
Doesn't matter.
I did get a copyright claim because they thought that I was Pink Floyd, and I was more flattered than anything else.
I'm genuinely curious how the fuck they thought you were Pink Floyd.
I opened up one of the shows singing "Comfortably Numb,"
Ah.
and they copyright claimed me. So, yeah, I don't know. I guess if I'm doing an opening and singing, I need to make it less than 30 seconds because it doesn't draw their attention. Wait a minute. Who's? Wait a minute, Nicholas. Who's currently in psychosis? I'm missing on the chat here. Oh, are you getting on Geo's jock?
Geo's jock. Waka waka.
But yeah. So I mean, did we're all adults here? Did anybody actually do anything for Halloween?
No.
I used the Bluetooth power of my laptop to fuck with children while they were walking by outside by playing weird music.
Well,
I closed the curtains. I don't have a doorbell, and I did nothing.
I don't have to worry about kids.
You handed out candy, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Bridge handed out candy.
well, now this sucks. I wonder if any of the stuff that I'm pulling from Streamlabs, is actually functioning.
Yeah, because I subscribed with 2 rando accounts.
Yeah, I did too.
God damn it!
Well, with one.
But
yeah.
are you talking about like the pill bottle thing?
Yeah, but I have it set up to where if anybody subs, that it should drop a dock head in there. I mean, if anybody throws money, it'll throw a pill in there. But
Yeah.
if anybody throws a sub, a little dock head will drop in there.
It's possible there might be some lag. Is Kadunta okay? She's kind of quiet.
Kadant was building up for a rage.
Oh.
It's,
No,
and
I'm
it,
fine.
and it
Oh,
didn't happen.
I was about to say, did you fall asleep already?
No.
I mean, to be fair, I did hear you had quite a bit of trouble on your Halloween.
Yeah, it was fine. Hi, Red Shirt.
it was fine. It's
Good
fine.
morning,
I'll
Red Shirt.
fucking stab the children in the face. Absolutely fine.
Yeah, basically.
Oh no, I understand that feeling. I like Halloween. It is my favorite holiday. I cannot stand it. It's not even like the kids that are out trick or treating. It is the goddamn parents. I don't know what it is, but I hate their fucking parents. I'm like, oh, isn't that an adorable costume? Fuck you, but that's an adorable costume.
Well, it's because
Oh,
the parents
man.
are the ones that raise them like the little fucking hooligan motherfuckers who I said feel free to grab a handful of candy and 2 of these little fucking I'm gonna say it. 2 of these little fucking Nicolets decide they're going to go repeatedly grabbing handfuls. Like it was a full bowl, and because of 2 out of the 5 kids that were there, two of them were just handful after handful after handful until I grabbed one of their wrists and I said, one handful. And I looked at this kid in the eye, and like one of the girls was like, dude, stop. And like I would not let go of his wrist. And I pulled his wrist that still had the handful of candy in it over to one of the other girls who still hadn't reached in to grab her candy. I'm like, give it to her.
Wait a
They
minute.
fucking bolted after that, and I took my fucking bowl inside, and I'm just like, all right, lights off. I'm fucking done with these little fucks. Like, fuck you. Fuck
What-
you all. Like, you have no idea. Where are your fucking parents so I can go and punch them in the face? Because if I punch you in the face, that's, you know, slightly frowned upon in society. So, where are your
Only
fucking parents?
slightly,
Because
though.
I have zero qualms with punching an adult, because at least that has, you know, less of a jail sentence than beating on a fucking minor. So please show me to your house. Let me bang on your door and tell all the parents, hey, where's all your fucking candy? Because your little niggly fucking decided he wanted to try and take it all. Like, it was a full fucking bowl. Like, I was this close to fucking like tossing the bowl onto the fucking ground and stepping on every single piece of candy and be like, you want your fucking candy? Is this what you want? Like, there you go. Go dig on the ground, you little fucking rat. Like, go fucking do the thing. Go fuck
Jesus
yourself. God fucking damn it. I hate you, right? Well, I don't hate you. I hate your parents, because obviously this is what your parents taught you was okay to do.
Can we rewind just a second?
Yes.
Did you say niglet?
Oh shit! It could have been much worse.
Just checking. Just checking.
I mean, I have an entire list that I could pull up called the Racial Slur Database for alternative words.
Hey, no. It's okay. I'm Asian. All Asians are racist.
Are they?
Really?
Yeah, they
Oh
actually
my
are.
god.
They
Yes.
are against other Asians. It's
Like,
it's
you have
incredible.
no what? Like, you can't even. Okay, so
It's actually
even-
incredible.
is even with some of their own types of Asian, they'll be like, and by the way, yes, Doc, I said that repeatedly.
Types of Asian?
Yeah, but like, what's it? So my mom, she's Filipino, but she's not from this city, because in that city they're lesser Filipinos. Like,
They're not quite Filipino enough.
no,
Well, I
they
mean, look at,
are,
like,
but they're a different kind of Filipino. Like, there's
Or
different
they're too Filipino.
various different tropes. Like, she's like, no, I'm not like one of those little fucking what was it? It was some sort of like, they're very well known that the girls that hang out in the bars in this city will hang out at the bars because they know that's where soldiers hang out, and they're looking for their fucking pass.
It's the Geiks!
Oh,
What the fuck was that?
I have a soundboard on, and I didn't realize that I had it on.
Yeah, sure you
And
didn't
it's
realize.
mapped to my what is it? Keyboard. It's mapped to my numbers, and I was typing in something.
Mhm.
Carry on.
I have to point out, it's official. Kadunt is my favorite Asian. You have replaced Bruce Lee.
Oh no, I'm not as good as Bruce Lee. I'm definitely not.
I don't know. You
Definitely
got
not
some
worth
good
it.
verbal kung fu skills.
I mean, you did say niglet like 9 times 5 minutes ago. I'm pretty sure Bruce wouldn't have said that shit.
He wouldn't have needed to, because he's earned the respect and stuff. I'm just a
Are you
racist.
telling me that if Bruce Lee would have been the one holding that candy bowl, that little bastard wouldn't have took that much candy?
No, the little bastard would not have.
I don't believe it. I believe the little bastard would have ganked all the candy and been like, "What? Flow like water, bitch," and ran off.
Although I will ask, since Kadunt's doing the bouncing today, I think Nicholas needs to take a little chill pill in the chat. Ugh.
Whoa, What's being said? I wasn't paying attention to the chat. I went into rant mode, so I apologize.
Yeah, they initially started off with a Klonopin conversation, and then Nicholas was trying to talk about the medications that Geo needs to be on.
Doc, they have a wrench. You can't bounce somebody with a wrench.
She can verbally bounce him.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, he's clearly being a little cunt bag, but that's beside the point.
Oh. Okay, well, I guess, we've been on the air enough. I'm going to go ahead and do this.
If they want to... No. Here's the thing.
What?
Right now I'm seeing some of Geo's replies. So I'm going to ask them both. I don't care who fucking started it. If y'all can both just be some fucking adults and maybe not do that shit, it'd be appreciated.
And me as the old school boomer. All right, you two settle down, or I'm turning this car around right now, and nobody's going to Disneyland.
We will turn this stream around.
I will turn.
I'll call you both little Nicklets, like if that's what you want.
Best Asian right now. I'm calling.
All it took was one word, and I can ruin it again for you really fast.
To be fair, I haven't slept in 2 goddamn days. I'm too tired for this shit.
And good morning, Lil
Silia.
Silia.
Good morning, Lil Silia. And thank you, Nicholas and Geo, for blocking each other and not dealing with each other. That is appreciated.
Yeah.
Fuckheads.
Is that how to be adults?
Close enough.
I do feel that I need to give the old-fashioned legal disclaimer, though.
About Niglets?
The views and opinions expressed by Kadan do not necessarily apply to Doc Griffin or his stream. Though it may be hilarious, it's still not nice to use racial slurs. There you go.
Oh.
Oh,
Damn,
well then I
should've had
guess
that clip.
my, what is it? The clip that came on wasn't good either.
I swear to God, one of these days I'm gonna get Blackout, drag him into like a theme park, and film him not giving a shit and still being depressed the entire time. I want to take him and put him in like the happiest places on earth, and just him have a blank fucking expression as Mickey puts his arm around him and does the peace sign.
But I have the same expression I have on Twitter, on my Twitter picture now.
The fucking constant expression of "I am too sad for this shit."
Life isn't worth living.
What is the thing, dude? Like, do you actually have like depression or?
Oh, seasonal. Yeah. Oh
Seasonal.
shit. Jesus Christ.
So like when summer rolls around, you're gonna cheer the fuck up, right?
No.
It's not seasonal if it's year round.
No, it's not even. I haven't even hit the fucking season yet.
So this is you not depressed.
Yeah. I'm just really convincing.
You are very convincing, because I swear to God, you are on the brink of tying your own noose half the time, and I feel bad because I want to like cheer you up, but none of my jokes ever land with you.
Well, so sometimes you just gotta no sell it.
No, I mean, like play the straight man on it.
Yeah, that's my thing. I'm not the comedic part here. I'm not the comedic relief.
Well, yeah, no, you make a good straight man, but that's because you sound like you're ready to tie your own noose half the time.
Exactly.
I seriously, half the time I expect to like get one day just a picture of his like backyard, and it's just all the trees have nooses, and he's like, which one would be best? No, because like, man, I met Blackout on the Morning Decay, like Broski and Optics show, and like cool dude. Love Blackout to death. He's a great guy, but Jesus fucking Christ, he sounds like he's ready to be the king of school shooters. Columbine ain't got nothing on Blackout, man. There it is. Thank you.
Oh God. Yeah, I couldn't keep it at the end. No.
Now I just can't get that visual out of my head of him in his backyard with a little thought bubble saying decisions.
Well,
what color should we go with today?
I'm gonna draw that now.
But you have to also draw T-Tac fapping it, but there's a rope hanging out from under the blanket.
Well,
because he's fapping with a noose.
Actually, it should be T-Tac just having a noose and pulling it with one hand while jerking it with the other.
Over like a little swing set.
A little David Carradine or erotic asphyxiation.
Autoerotic asphyxiation, folks. You don't know what that means. It's choking yourself while you ejaculate. Supposedly, it makes the ejaculation more crazy, but I don't advise you do that.
Yeah, and honestly, who is it? Michael Hutchins from InXS died the same way. And I don't know what's sadder because that guy was getting like model pussy. And he still felt he had to choke himself out to get off.
Well, I mean, that's you kind of have. Well, I see. You kind of have to up the ante kind of a lot if you're doing it like a lot of if you're doing it a lot, then you got to kind of up the ante higher and higher to kind of keep on getting that same.
Well, by that rationality, that means that you have to take like a stick of dynamite and shove it up your ass and then light a very, very long fuse and get off before it blows up.
I mean,
so I'm
just saying frequency wise. I'm just saying frequency wise. Like if you're doing it very frequently.
Yeah, if you're fucking a lot, it's harder to get off.
Yeah, like if you're like banging a broad every day, then you're gonna have some issues.
So this is a concept for you, Doc. Since you're the doc here, what the fuck is it with these women that I see like all over goddamn Twitter that are just way too goddamn hot that have exes? Like, I get it. Maybe she cheated on you. Leave her after that. But like a lot of them are super fucking nice, but they're also smoking goddamn hot, and all they have is exes, and nobody will date them. What the fuck?
Huh. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I dated a girl who was a magazine model, and it was funny because like my pat answer, we got to talking in some place, and I sincerely did not know that she was on that she had cover modeled, and we kind of had a nice conversation. I said, well, hey, would you like to go out and have dinner sometime? And she was like, yeah. And then somebody informed me who she was, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's cool, but it kind of stuck in my head.
Yeah.
And I asked her when we went out, and she said, well, you were a nice guy, and you asked me. People have this, models apparently, and hot women have this kind of stigmatism that because they are hot models, that people don't ask them out, so their opportunities are fewer unless they want to be the aggressor.
So it's like the Eros and Psyche dilemma.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, okay, this is a good example, and I understand that there are some hang-ups with her, but have you ever seen Opal?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know Cadunt and Blackout have, but I'm asking Doc specifically. Have you ever actually seen like Opal?
Once.
Yeah, she posted her picture on Twitter.
Like, she is... She's a very attractive woman. But nobody wants to, like, get with her. And it's... To me, it's, like, weird. I don't get it.
Well, I can explain that one.
I like
And
Sally.
it's nothing...
Oh, God.
It's nothing against her, but I think there's also the baggage that you have to associate with the fact that she's a single mom. Because a lot of people aren't gonna want to get behind that where they're raising somebody else's kid.
Well, no, I get the concept.
Like, it's the same.
Like,
it's the same shit people like say when they're making fun of like. I'm not gonna get into the politics of it, but like when people are making fun of like Sargon of Akkad for saying he's raising his wife's dinosaur or shit like that. Like it's that kind of like you're raising another man's child. It's
I get that concept,
and I know what you're saying with that because I do think that it is like, I think she should have somebody, but like I also can see where it's like that's a lot to take on to begin with.
Well, it's a lot like these these fucking cam model chicks. Like, it was Frodo that showed me that the always high bitch that was playing Final Fantasy VII, right? Blackout.
Yeah.
That chick, she's apparently single.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I get it. She's fucking irritating as shit as a person. But, like, with Opal and her, like, baggage of having the kid, you don't have to get into, like, a serious relationship. Like, even the like, playing around flirting doesn't happen with these people. And it's fucking weird to me.
Like, again, I think that I'm not saying that as in, like, it's an active thing, but I think knowing that there is that kind of almost turns people off to it, whether they would have otherwise have seen that.
Well, think about like this actually. Like, have I ever have you ever seen Minty? Like, my girlfriend. Have you ever met Minty?
I don't think I have. Maybe I have.
Okay, well, this is my personal experience with the concept. Like, Minty, when we started talking, Minty was fucking smoking hot.
Yeah,
like she's.
Don't say was.
Yeah, to be fair,
gonna get you in the doghouse.
No, like Minty is smoking hot as a woman. She's fine woman. But she had like this long history of dudes that would just like be like, "Hey, I get with you," and she's ready to go to him and get the D. She didn't. And it's not from her volition. They would like break up with her randomly. And it's just like, she's got a good personality. She had absolutely no fucking baggage. And she had a banging pair of tits and a wonderful lass. Why was she not getting pipe laid regularly? It's fucking baffling to me.
That's a fair enough question.
By the way, Kadant, did you throw the link to Antihero?
He says he's coughing too much.
I fucking cough a lot too, dude. Just come on, come hang out. It's all right.
I will say, just because you mentioned Antihero, he was also saying the sounding, the fetishes, and the awful cooking also have something to do with that. Which again, yeah, I mean, but I'm not really including that because I think a lot of that is played up as kind of like. Because I mean, a lot of like people play up their shit on the internet, like in a lot of aspects.
A gimmick.
Exactly, like everybody's kind of like whether you realize it or not, you're kind of branding yourself, and because there's not as much like face-to-face interaction, you're gonna be a little bit more out there with yourself, kind of thing. Now, maybe that's some aspect of her, but I don't think it's fair to bring it completely up just based on what she said on the internet.
Yeah, but you gotta look at it this way. Her bringing it up, like even if you think it's just a gimmick, there could be that small part of you that's just like, yeah, but if it's not, that could be a scary a scary concept kind of thing.
Well,
Wait, the
now,
sounding
what-
thing?
The sounding, the whole she masturbated with a knife handle before, like the fact that her there's dead birds all around her house, and her kid laughs at shadows and shit like that. Like, there's all these kinds of stories that she shares, and it could just be her playing it up, but there's still gonna be that sense in most people where they're just like, yeah, but what if it's
Well,
not?
there
You
is
know,
some
like-
of it that is absolutely not fake.
No,
Yeah,
I'm,
for sure.
again,
I
I'm
don't
not
doubt.
disagreeing with that. I'm just
But,
saying that
like-
it's
One of the things I see in the in the side chat from John Doe, I'm willing to bet Opal has some creepy DMs. She's not creepy, like when she's not on on air. She's
like,
the
Yeah.
nicest girl on the fucking planet, which is why this concept baffles me so
I mean,
much.
I mean,
Alright.
it's mostly creepy on the Morning Decay. When she's on my streams, she doesn't really act that much. Like
She's
she-
super fucking nice.
No,
Well, I
she's
think,
she's
yeah.
a really chill person, and she really is. She's actually a really chill person, and I'm sure she plays up a lot of it, and there's nothing wrong with that. But like, and I totally it can be a baffling prospect for a lot of people, but I don't know. Like I guess it's a question in my fucking head too, because it's no, I'm not. I'm
Well-
going to make this disclaimer right here. I don't think in any way, shape, or form that I'm hot, and I'm pretty sure that I'm fucking crazy. But I've had plenty of guys who have flirted with me, like over and over and over again, and repeatedly and hardcore. And I'm kind of one of those who's like a bit too shy to actually like be like, let me step
Mhm.
forward. Like I'll flirt with somebody, no issue. If I have no real intent with them, like it's a thing. And
Yeah.
then if I start getting like awkward and weird, then that's because I'm like, shit, I'm starting to see you as a person. I'm starting to like you as a person. Fuck, I don't know how to handle this.
wait.
Well,
Are you
I-
saying that? Are you saying that you wouldn't have an issue if a niglet asked you out?
I would, because it's gonna be a no. First off, child, you're a child. Second off, ew, have you seen the color of your skin? No.
oh,
I know I had to do it. No, come on, I told you. Asians are super racist. Disavow. What I say, what spews forth from my mouth are not in line with the thought processes of the rest of those joining in this stream. But no, but I've over the years I've had it where like I've had guys who basically like when they did finally decide to date me, it was just to just kind of be like, look what I have. Or it's because they knew that I would put up with a lot of bullshit and I would, stay around in spite of a lot of shit. But it was always just it was one of those look what I have. And that puts a lot of hesitance on my end alone, let alone like on the air that I'll throw out, to people. It's just like, no, you're not, like you're not going to be enough to handle all of this mess. And then if I actually like you, then I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure I'm not enough to be worth your time. Like it's a really, but that's my process when it comes to myself.
I am gonna say this, and I mean absolutely no like disrespect to Anti-Hero, but I did see the Halloween post you made today. You are hot. To be fair, you are hot. But I think Silea actually has a point on that concept that maybe she just hasn't found the right guy yet. And I think you gotta find crazy to match your own crazy.
Well, and somebody who doesn't have the preconceived notion that her gimmick is actually her.
Mm-hmm.
I think that could be causing quite a bit of difficulty.
I mean, to be fair, like I've hit on Opal before. full disclosure, I've hit on Opal before, but that's because that didn't like ever happen until like I knew her as a person, like actually shooting the shit back and forth for a while, and that's an important part of it. But I'm saying this to the nice single young men in the chat. Opal is not Satan, I promise.
She's really not, though.
Sit down and talk to her every once if you get a chance. Because if you can, you're going to find out she's actually a really interesting person and would be worth your time.
Well, she's a sweetie, and she was very... she was supposed to do a nursey. And,
oh, God.
And she kind of messed up with the time. And she was incredibly apologetic.
Little Siley is saying, "Who haven't you hit on, Ichabod?"
I have not hit on Kadun.
He's not because I knew how to curb him right away.
Don't, please.
No.
Oh,
I think
I
I'm
like
going
it when
to
you beg. Do it again.
Now this sounds dumb. I think I'm going to donate through Streamlabs because this is bugging me.
You got to make sure it's actually working.
Yeah, if the shit isn't working, so yeah, I'm actually gonna pay. What is it? Like 7 cents to find out.
There is a button on Streamlabs that's just add donation, and you can just put one in there.
I don't know that.
Well, okay, if you go to the Streamlabs site and you're logged in on your My Donations page, where it'll show the donations you've received, there's a button that says Add Donation.
Okay.
There's also a button that says Test Donation, which actually might help as well.
It's not showing a test donation.
Just hit Add Donation and then put in a random name and then put $1. You won't actually get the $1, but it'll show it.
Okay.
Or if there's anybody out there with a random $1 that they would like to go into Doc Streamlabs and click the thing.
I don't actually think I have $1 in my PayPal right now. I think I'm pretty goddamn broke.
Same though.
Oh yeah, no, it is definitely a thing.
It's just saying save donation.
Okay, yeah, no,
well,
I don't have any.
I'm gonna try it. Let's see what happens.
Well, I'm gonna have to bounce. It's like 8 now, so I shit.
And of course,
thanks for joining us, Blackout.
Thanks for having me on.
Shill.
Before
You're
you
good,
bounce,
Yeah.
you know the shill.
Oh, okay. You can find me on Twitter at NoFinalBlackout and on YouTube.com/BlackoutNo. And I'll probably be streaming at 9 a.m. today.
All motherfuckers get up way too goddamn early.
Hey, I'm covering for the Morning Decay, so
fair point.
Yeah. Plus that's like 3 p.m. for me, so it's just the right time.
As a fun side note, Doc Griffin's channel and the Insomnia stream, as well as his other show, is funded in part by your donations. Please feel free to donate at the link given in the chat right now.
Thank you.
Well, okay. Now here's some fuckery. Nothing interacted with the pill glass, but I think I did actually see the dono for. I used the name Finkelstein Shit Kid. And I hope somebody out there gets the Cheech and Chong reference.
I just find it funny.
Because it's the one that made me laugh for Up in Smoke, because it was Strother Martin, and I don't know if you know the actor Strother Martin, but when he goes off, it's just, yeah, see, there it is, Finkelstein Shit Kid. basically, Tommy Chong is his son, and he's just so frustrated with him that at the very end of it, when Chong is walking out of the house, he's like, "You get a goddamn job before sundown, or we're shipping you off to military school with the goddamn Finkelstein shit kid. Son of a bitch."
Oh, I feel like I remember that somewhere. I don't know. That sounds like one of the.
Oh yeah, and Strother Martin was one of those actors that when he got pissed off, it actually looked like he was pissed off. He did it a lot with. He did a movie called Slapshot, a hockey movie with Paul Newman. And
I actually think I remember that movie.
I think I do too, actually.
Yeah, he was the GM. The little GM, and yeah. I always look forward to him because a lot of the times he only got cast in westerns.
If following suit with Blackout, I gotta go as well because I gotta heat up my food again because I totally forgot I even had it, even though I've been staring at it for the past like hour.
Well, then you know the drill. It's time to chill.
Oh, do you want to chill for the channel for me, or do I need to do it for myself?
You have to do it for yourself, or I will call you the thing.
I've got it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the Coon of Doom. I run Citrus Quest. Feel free to come by and check it out anytime. And again, the views and opinions expressed by Kadun do not necessarily express the views and opinions of the Insomnia stream or poor Doc Griffin. I'm sorry. She said Niglet so many times. I'm honestly slightly surprised she didn't come out with them little jigaboos.
It's not. I made it worse. It doesn't flow as well, and it's not as fun to say in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, because Porch Monkey Jr. just takes too long to get out.
Exactly.
But no, that sounds like a some type of new confectionery coming out from the Mars company. Try our chocolate flavored Niglets. They're delicious.
Jeez.
Actually, anti-hero? Yeah, he said the thing.
Wouldn't you rather have a Niglet?
Oh, God bother, you only want me to make cupcakes.
And a very good morning to Godbother. Oh shit.
X, you're being quiet.
I forgot to do that.
I don't know. Just I got nothing right now. I don't know. I've been watching a lot of what is it? Like, you know them what is it? There's channels on YouTube where they'll just do the they'll like build different things like forging kind of things.
Yes.
Like restoration. I've been watching a lot of that lately. I don't know.
Hi, Metaphors.
I don't know. That's what I was doing before I jumped on.
Good morning, Metaphorist. I enjoyed the one where the dude actually built the cloud sword.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one. I've seen
the Buster sword. Oh, it was so pretty.
But he was sitting there dragging it across his driveway because it's too fucking heavy to hold.
Well, that's how it's in the game. It's too heavy for Cloud too.
Wait. We forgot to do a thing, guys. We never did the thing.
What thing?
I want to hear. Well, not just me, but it was a request from Karen earlier, where we talk about the spooky
and the
scary. And no, come on, it's the final evening. You know, it is. What the fuck is that in the background?
Apparently, To celebrate my anniversary, Cricket turned off my phone.
Oh,
Okay, don't care.
but
Although,
yeah, let's talk about some you know spooky,
creepy,
supernatural, whatever
spooky
you want.
stuff.
Yeah, the creepy, spooky.
One creepy story. Um,
None. Anybody?
I,
Like,
I mean, I got creepy stories, but most of them started off as dates.
it's okay. I've had one that ended up like that too.
Now, um, Karen D did donate $2, asking if it's working, and she also made a request to give me spooky stories.
Yes, she did.
Um, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit preoccupied seeing if I know my test one went through, but I don't know if hers actually is showing up. So
All right. Well,
once
you
the
keep an
scroll
eye on
comes
that.
through, I think I
Yeah.
will tell a spooky story.
All right. Well, let's see. Hex, do you have any spooky stories?
Hmm. Really? Unfortunately.
Now, wait a minute. Do they have to be supernatural or just generally creepy?
Just generally creepy will work, I think, just fine. And hi, Lysis.
Good morning, Bree.
All right.
Yep.
So
Hey, there
here,
it is.
I'll.
Woot.
Huh? It worked.
Yeah.
Nice.
And little Silia also threw in a donut. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And since the freaking since the glass isn't actually working, let me just jump real quick to see if there was a message left.
Okay. You go ahead and do that.
Aw, Will Celia said, "Love the show." Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I guess I'll go with the one that I've talked about before. I think it was actually on this stream, so maybe not, but the one where when I was a little kid, it was just me and my sister's home. It was late at night, and me being uh natural born insomniac, uh, I had heard a noise, and I'm on a bunk bed, and I turned to look because it sounded like my bedroom door opening, and I see what looks like this shape pop out from around a corner, and I swear I could see a smile and a wave, and it was just like the upper body, I could see a head and even a ponytail, and I'm like, Mom? And so I get down off of the bed, the shape disappears, and I go, and I didn't hear my bedroom door close, but I go down into the hallway, and I see that the bedroom door is closed. And so I open it and I go and check my mom's room. She's not home. My dad's still not home, and there was nothing. It was just that one little instance. So here's my little spooky story, I guess. That's
Well,
just one of them.
I think I mentioned previously about how when it comes to the 31st, since it's All Hallows Eve, the people who have died since the last Halloween, I light candles for because it's an old tradition. It's an old pagan tradition. It goes back very far, where you light a candle to light the way for those spirits who may not have crossed over. But
Yeah.
I'm always particular about it. It's not necessarily that for me. It's I'm lighting a candle in remembrance of those people. And it can be, it can seriously be. You can take faith in the fact that you're helping somebody move along, or you can take comfort in remembering the people that have gone, that have passed on. Shuffled off the mortal coil. And now this happens to me frequently, um, uh, especially when there's people around me who I'm close to, and who have passed away. It doesn't have to be a tragic circumstance. I don't actually have to be near them, or in effect know them. The one story that really pops out is. My wife said, I don't know why, but I think my mom's here and she's visiting. And I came down and that same day. The reason why the conversation started off, I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, well, what do you mean? And I was like, what's with the new perfume? And she goes, what do you mean the new perfume? And I'm like, I'm smelling like rose water. Did you get like rosewater perfume? And she just stopped and her face kind of went blank. And she was like, that's the perfume that my mom always wore. So she said that her mom was visiting us. And this was probably, I don't know, maybe September. Yeah, somewhere around there. It was before Halloween. And I had a tendency that when I'd go to sleep, I would normally go to sleep since I didn't have to be into work until like 5:30 p.m. Oh, good morning, Michael.
Hi, Michael.
I didn't have to be into work until, like 5:30. So I could tire myself out, go to sleep, and then, I'd wake up because I had blackout curtains and all that shit. So one particular day, I ignored the alarm, turned it completely off, didn't hit the snooze, turned it completely off, and curled back up in the bed, and then plain as day, an older lady's voice came into my ear and said, you have to wake up. And bing, I'm awake. I'm looking around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I went down and wifey was doing whatever wifey was doing at the time. And I was like, did your mom have kind of a raspy voice? And she's like, yeah, at the end. And I'm like, okay, I think your mom just woke me up. Now, from time to time, this will happen. But when I do the, well, for lack of a better word, ritual of doing the burning of the candles, because I even write the names of the people who passed on the candle. So they've got their very own. But I have been awakened out of a dead sleep by voices that I recognize, voices that are familiar, that will say something as mundane as hello, or it's a nice day today. I mean, just literally break me out of sleep. And the voices are as plain as day. And I know, to assure the chat, I don't hear voices in my head except for my own. But yeah, it's like somebody bends down, whispers in my ear, you gotta wake up.
That's always the one interesting thing about it. Like, I'm just sorry, my brain gets going when I hear these kinds of things. I enjoy science a lot, so my brain starts thinking like that kind of shit, and I'm almost thinking like, because you're saying that, I'm thinking like maybe it's just like something with the brain, like kind of just remembering those dead, but it's like it almost seems like it's just something that you wouldn't think that it's not like something that they've really ever said to you to begin with when they were alive, kind of thing. Is that what it sounds like? or is that what it kind of is? Just trying to get inside the mind of Griffin and this.
Well, there's such randomness to it. Um, and it's so funny because before we got to the lighting ceremony tonight, my dad had died in February, and I put his name on one, of course, and it was so funny because when I lit it, my dad did refrigeration and repair, and there's a certain smell that those guys get because they're working around, chemicals like freon and such, and grease. My dad was a real big proponent of lava soap. He loved lava. So I lit the candle, set it up in the ledge, and I could smell lava and grease when I lit the candle.
Hi, Numbed.
Good morning, Nub.
Yeah.
I've had a similar experience. Actually, it was my mom. It was after I'd moved out, but I'd come over to the house to visit or whatever. Let me correct myself. It was after I'd moved out before she'd asked me to move back in, when she was like right after her and my dad had divorced. But I'd gone over to visit or whatever, and I was in the living room, and she's in the kitchen cooking, and watching TV or watching my niece or something. I don't remember what I was doing, but I remembered her calling me over, and I'm like, "What's up, Mom?" And she's like, "Do you smell that?" And I go and I take a little inhale, and I'm like, "Yeah, actually, I do." And it's a men's smell, and I knew it was familiar. But she's like, "That's been happening a lot, especially since your dad left. But it's been happening a lot, especially while I'm in the kitchen. Who does that smell like?" And it smelled exactly like the Old Spice deodorant my late ex used to wear. And one of the things he used to always do was, whenever we would visit my mom, he would hang out with her in the kitchen because he absolutely loved her cooking. And he always wanted to try and help and do that kind of thing. And she's like, I think Randy keeps visiting me. I think he keeps hanging out with me in the kitchen. And then she told me about how my niece had woken up, and she came and started blabbing to my mom about there was a bald guy in the hallway, and he stopped her in the kitchen and made sure to follow her in the hallway, so she went back to her room, and my niece was talking about all this stuff, and my late ex was bald. So like, and we asked my niece, like, describe him, like describe more of him, and she was able to retell me that whole story of how there's like a bald guy who stopped her from being in the kitchen because this little shit liked to wake up early and go and fuck around in the kitchen with one thing or another, and he told her, no, go back, go back, and he followed her and stopped in the hallway and watched, and she and we asked her where he had stopped at, and he had stopped at the door of my old room. And then went in there, except the door to my old room was closed and was basically just storage at that point. Okay. So like, we were just like, well, and I started yelling. I'm like, you dead fuck. Like, how fucking dare you haunt my family? Like, I'm glad you're leaving me alone, but like don't you bother my family. You fucked up and then you died. So like I was finally rid of you, you asshole. And my mom looked at me, she's like, "Don't talk that way." I'm like, "No, he deserves it. He fucking knows because this fucker used to haunt my dreams after he had died. He used to haunt my fucking dreams with my dog that had also died. My dog 12 gauge. Like that's the puppy that I'd gotten and raised kind of with him. But I wound up being more of the mom to 12 gauge than he was. But
So
he's
you were getting
he,
Krugered?
he huh?
You were getting Krugered?
With or without the negative, like it was one of those like really peaceful kind of dreams where he came to me with that fucking grin that he used to always have because he was one of those stubborn assholes who always thought like 10 feet tall and made of steel kind of dickholes.
Ha!
And yeah,
Sorry.
you
I was
what?
testing out. I'm dropping my head into the
You're dropping your head into the glass.
yeah, I'm dropping my head into the glass and it's making me giggle.
But he was yeah, he'd come to me in a dream, like a few dreams. Usually when I was having like a real bad time of things. And he'd be it would always start off with 12 gauge coming and bouncing towards me because he was part Springer Spaniel, part Border Collie, and part something else. Australian Shepherd. So he's like this little mix, and he's this black and white, perfect little fuzzy little, you know, my bouncing bronco was what I would call 12 gauge. And he would come like hopping, and the only way I knew he was hopping was because I would only see him partially through like the fields of the grass or whatever. And then here comes my late ex, walking through. The grass is like waist high on him, and he'd stop and he'd try and call 12 gauge back, but 12 gauge is just happy to be able to see his mama again. And he's like, what do you think you're doing? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. And he's like, well, go and do it. And I'm like, well, don't you fucking tell me what to do. You're dead. And he just fucking laughs. And he's like, you're right, I am, but you're still alive. And there's a reason you're still alive. I'm like, I tried not to be. And he's like, I know, I stopped you a couple of times. So there's a reason why you're still alive. So go and fucking live. And like one of the times that specific dream actually happened when I'd had a guy hitting on me, and I couldn't bring myself to date him. Like I couldn't bring myself to say yes at that moment, and I don't know why. There was just something that made me hesitate, and there's probably like a lot of insecurities and shit like that. But I haven't had a dream with my late ex in a while, which is fine by me because he always found a way to piss me off. Because hot damn, like he was probably like one of the first guys to really truly ruin me. He was the third guy I'd ever dated, and it was not a very smart, intelligent, or healthy relationship, but I had stuck in it for like 5 to 6 years.
So he wrecked you emotionally?
Oh, mentally and emotionally, yeah. He only ever hit me once. Unlike my ex before him, and then the ex after. The ex after was really fucking bad. Like he was the second guy who really fucked me over, like bad, like really fucking bad. Like that one was the hardest one I think to ever recover from. Losing Randy was different than being rid of the guy after him. Like if I could trade if I could trade who had died in the car accident, you know, like like I know exactly who I would switch. I'm
Well,
a terrible person.
When I was solo by myself, my uh, I did a rescue for a couple of dogs, and they were real sweethearts. And you know, I was working, you know, 10-hour days, and usually yeah, I always had to pen them up, because of course that's something that you have to do when you have doogies, because you don't want them running all over the house and shitting all over stuff. So um, I went ahead and uh, I would have them penned, you know, just like a doggy gate, you know, a little bed there with them so they could just sit back and chill. And uh, I should say right up front that the house that I was living in was a legit renovated chicken coop from the turn of the century. It was almost like, I guess you'd almost call it like a cabana house. It was
Mm-hmm.
it was back behind my parents' house. So anytime they needed me to do anything, they just give me a call and I'd come up. And I uh, I kind of liked it. It was kind of neat. But it was way off the road. I was all by myself, and the person who had lived there before was my dad's step grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
She lived there and died there, and that was actually one of the first times that I got the whisper in my ear. But I would come home and the dogs would be all happy, and I'd pull up the gate and they'd start running around, and every so often they would stop, like somebody had commanded them to stop, and they would sit and their tails were wagging and everything, and they'd be staring at something, and um, legitimately uh, it looked like they had seen something, and they were waiting on the command of that something, because the dogs were incredibly obedient. But nothing ever happened. And when my wife moved in shortly after, um, uh, she would get chills when she'd go into the bathroom at certain times. I mean, be it spring, summer, winter, whatever, she would get chills. And and she also said that she would hear um, disapproving "huh" every so often. And that's when you know, I started the full-fledged ritual. I didn't know her, but I signed her name up, and after we did that, we never got we never got another harumph. Never got another chill in there, and the dogs seemed kind of sad, because you know, when I unpenned them, they would sit there and walk around a little bit and check the area out, and then when they didn't find whatever that they were looking for, they would come back to me and sit down and be my my companion dogs. They just sit down next to me, and I never figured out if Grandma was interacting with them or not. But you know, I don't know. Have you ever run into animals that that you know, basically, for I guess for lack of a better term, um, that are I don't know.
Sensitive to that.
Would you say would you say
Oh,
psychic or
well, because I heard stuff about like they will do that kind of thing with what is it? With like spirits and whatnot, like, and I can even see that just like given the fact that they have different abilities to sense stuff, like they I can't remember if they can see a different part of the spectrum. There are certain animals that can see different parts of the color spectrum that we simply cannot. And so if it is like the whole EMF thing, like I think it probably is, just given the fact that it's like electromagnetic fields just kind of are kind of like our essence, then it would almost make sense that they can see something in that spectrum and that's what they're reacting to, or some where they can sense it better.
Yeah, there's actually there they see in different kind of wavelengths and stuff like that than what human eyes can see. As well as dogs have a much stronger sense of smell, and both dogs and cats' hearing tend to be better than ours as well.
I'll take the switch it over to see a ghost better, given the current understanding of them, at the very least.
Well, I've had a few experiences. Before my dog 12 Gauge had passed, uh, he used to react a lot to what was seemingly nothing, and I always and he would get all happy and his tail would get waggy, and I'd just be like, "You motherfucker, you leave my dog alone. You're dead. He's mine now. Like, you can go away." um and almost every single cat I've ever had has reacted to something or just stared at something or another that was unseen or unheard by my eye. There was actually one moment where I've had the whole wake up in the middle of the night thing, Doc. Well, not in the middle of the night, but I've had the sudden wake up thing because a voice had, clear as day, in my ear. A voice had said, "See your mom." And so I got up, and my mom's like in the middle of sleep, like she's sleeping, like it's dead quiet in the house, and I see one of the cats like sitting in front of her door with its tail twitching. And so I go into her room, and she's asleep, but she's doing that silent scream from sleep paralysis, and the cat like bolts into the room and is staring at, like, not at my mom, but like right above my mom. So I go over and I grab my mom, and I just like hold her and hug her and try and ease her, and then the cat like rubbed against me, and my mom seemed to have calmed down.
yeah? Because I know, you know, I've lived in tornado country for most of my life, and yeah, it's incredibly eerie when there's a tornado coming. You know there's a tornado coming because all the wildlife, all the outdoor life goes silent, and the dogs or cats that you own become almost sedated.
Good night, anti-hero.
Good night, antihero.
Well, I mean, you'll see that with just like basic uh, stuff like a what is it? When you got like a rainstorm coming, you'll like see the birds kind of going. Like you'll hear them like they get more active when you hear like there's like a storm coming. You kind of know there's like a storm coming, just like a rainstorm. It's kind of weird almost, like just but like you get it, like you kind of have to be able to know when that's going to happen, or else it's going to make it difficult, especially for a thing like a bird.
I can't help it. God damn it, I keep playing with shit. Did you notice the change that I just made?
No.
I changed
What
it
did
to
you
you
do?
must be at least this adult to ride.
Yes.
I like
I
that.
like it.
Good one.
Karen, a demon story involving a dog?
Oh, well then, you done fucked up, Karen, because we're sending you a link. That is, if I know how to work this. There we go.
We can figure this out.
Oh, Karen, I have to find you, though. Duh. Because I forget you go under a different name in the Twitters.
On the Twitters.
Okay, there it goes. Yeah, I tell you what, I still watching like some of the insomnia gifts that I pulled up. There's a couple from uh, El Macanisto,
Mm-hmm.
the mechanic, the one that Christian Bale was in and lost all that weight. I don't know if you guys haven't seen that movie. It's a damn good movie. And Christian Bale, as you probably already know, gets very intense into his roles, and he legitimately, at the end of it, because they shot it in sequence, because he had to lose a shit ton of weight. His character is sleepless and has trouble eating, and so he literally lost. Oh my God, what was it? He lost like 80 pounds, maybe 100 pounds during the actual filming. And he was to the point where he was only eating one, it was either one can of tuna or one apple a day to continuously lose his weight. And he got to the part where the financiers of the movie got worried that if he would fall, that he would seriously hurt himself.
Was this what's his name?
What?
Because one apple a day sounds familiar. Drink. Christian Bale, I think it was, did one apple a day and water for a certain role.
Yeah, El Machinista.
Okay.
The mechanic. Here, wait a minute. Make Google work better for you. Fuck you. I know how Google works. Christian Bale. Or the machinist. Yeah, sorry. El Machinista.
Machinista.
Okay. Well, here's a good side by side. This is a picture of him in The Machinist, and a picture of him when he had to go gain the weight all back and gain muscle back for Batman Begins.
Yeah.
and because we haven't shared anything yet.
No,
I forget.
no, we've
I
not
forget
done
the name that you came up with, but I liked it.
the um the no context tweet
Yes.
or
No,
yeah,
the no context tweet.
or the stream context only tweet.
Yeah, because if you're not here, you're not gonna understand the goofy pictures that are popping up. But
Yes, I know Nicholas, and yeah, my cat, he's
there's some
being nice to
pergoling
you.
going on.
Yeah, he's loud. Can you still hear him?
I can't, but I'm dicking around with clicking. So yeah, if you look on my Twitter, you can see the difference. I mean, good God.
Yeah, the only other person to do something similar, um, for a role was what's her face? I I think it's Renee Zellweger. No, yes, yeah. She was for Bridget Jones' Diary to Chicago.
Didn't Christian Pratt do something like that too
I,
for Guardians of the Galaxy? I think he
well,
did.
I thought she fattened up for it and not thinned out.
I forget which way it went, but I know that the weight change was extreme.
Well, well, here, let's do another extreme example. I'm not spelling. I know I'm not spelling it right. Fuck you. Um, fuck you, Google. Fuck you very much. Is there a? Yeah, that's a good picture. Another incredibly. This is a gainer. This is Robert De Niro in Raging Bull.
Oh, here, let me see if I can.
And De Niro in Raging Bull, I believe he gained, I think it was like 70 or 80 pounds after they'd filmed all the boxing parts. Because, he was portraying him at the end of his life. So he pudged up.
Yeah. Hey, Doc, Karen seems to be having issues with the link. It keeps sending her to the Google Play Store app.
What?
Yeah, some of the links you were sending me before, the ones that weren't working for me were doing the same thing.
Okay, let's try this.
Yeah.
Because I just told Google, fuck you, so it's getting its revenge.
But if you're doing it through... doing it on a Android, then it would send you to the Google Play Store. If you're doing it on... what's it called? If you're doing it on your computer, then you should just be able to... well,
she's on her phone.
It. Yeah, so you'd have to use a app for it.
Yeah. Well, and that's fine, but like sometimes with certain links, like it sorry, it'll fuck people over. It does that with me every once in a while. With it has to be a specific link that'll let me just go to it because I have the app and it took me, I had to update my phone before it would actually let me use my phone for streams. And even then, it will only connect with certain links. Like, it won't. Otherwise, it tries to send me either straight to the app, which doesn't help me in any way, shape, or form, or it'll send me to the Google Play Store.
Actually, I think I've seen something at least with what was it? It's sending.
She should have the right one. I have found out No, no, Nicholas, I don't use Discord for my shows. I use Google Hangouts.
Ah, that worked.
There we go. Hi, Tennessee.
And a good morning, Tennessee Marine.
Interesting.
All right, we have Karen on, and she has a demon dog in story.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Ah, we must hear.
Well, it's not that exciting, but my friend, mom, we used to go over to her house because my mom was friends with her mom, and she got this really nice table. It was like cherry oak, shiny, with matching chairs and everything. Tall, really
Oh,
nice.
shit. I can't.
And really
I
nice.
can't turn you up, hon. Can you speak a little louder?
Sorry. Is it better?
Yes, much.
Okay. It had a really nice design too. And it had like 3 heads of an animal, like on the top sides, like near the edge of the table. And it had um, animal feet for the legs.
Okay, so was it like a chimera or animal heads that we would know?
It was like a lion. Um, I don't know what the other ones were, but I, they were like cats. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But they were not the same species.
So they were all different kinds of cats?
Hmm.
Okay, cool. Sorry, continue. I like to
Yeah,
put the
so
visual in my head.
yeah, and you could tell the feet were feet because they had claws, like in between. Yeah. So it was like, oh, that's creative, but we didn't pay no mind to it until um like a couple times I spend the night there. Also my family too. Um, my mom would drink a little too much. She's like, "Oh, we're just gonna spend the night. It's not a school night, so whatever." One of the nights, it was just me and my sister, and we were in our friend's room, and they took over the bed, and I couldn't fit, so I just ended up sleeping on the floor. And also, my friend liked to have the radio on all night. One of those people who has to have noise in the room to sleep, and I can't have that for
Oh
some
yeah, I
reason.
know that well. I
Hmm.
am a white noise person.
Yeah, and I remember this song on the radio. I forgot what it's called. Something about "Runaway." Like, it was a 50 Cent. It was about this guy rapping the song where he didn't know this girl was like underage. I'm not sure if you guys remember that song on the radio.
You'd have to,
No,
uh,
probably not.
unless it was the one. She was only 16, only 16. That's the only one that I know.
Mm, I don't know, but rappers, they talk about the stuff that happens in their lives, but at the end, the rapper says, um, "Open your eyes," and every time he would say that, I would open my eyes. And I thought it was like annoying at first. So one of the times I went to the bathroom, and their dog was with me on the floor, like curled up next to me. Um, she was a white Rottweiler mix, and when I got out, I wanted her to come with me to the bathroom, you know, since she was up too, but like she usually does. But this time she didn't. She was just standing at the door, looking down the hallway and whining, and I didn't know why. And so I ended up like, okay, see you. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And when I come out, she's right in front of the door, but standing right in the hallway towards like where the dining room is, and just standing there. And I had to get her attention, like, come on, let's go back to bed. Let's go. And um, yeah, that was very uneventful. But she knew some. I know she either saw something or sensed something. that was down there, but I didn't want to find out, so I just went back to bed. And another time, this time my mom stayed at the house. And so we were like in one of those couches where like you pull up a mattress from inside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, one of those. So the living room is right next to the dining room. And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the night, I wake up. I just wake up abruptly. And for some reason, I felt so scared, and I don't know why. And I call out to my mom. She was next to me, and she's like, I know. And then I started freaking out even more. But yeah. She, I don't know what she saw, but she said she told me just to go back to bed, just to go back to sleep. Everything will be fine. And so I ended up going back to sleep. She ended up telling her friend, like, you need to get that table looked at or something. There's something that you have that's not normal. And so what my mom and her friends they used to be Jehovah's Witness. Okay, I know. But a brother ended up looking at the table because he makes furniture for a living. And he took it apart. Like it used to be put together like in the old ways, like without nails.
Okay.
Or anything like that. So he took apart the wood and he saw carvings in the wood, burnt and like non-burnt, of what is that star? It was satanic.
It depends. Pentagrams are the ones that are usually considered satanic.
Yeah, pentagrams.
Here.
Like hidden.
Well, that's the only reason why pentagrams are considered satanic is because it's back in when the first Church of Satan started to come out, they used the inverted star, which then turned into the pentagram.
Well, yeah, they make a distinct, pagans make a distinct difference between a pentagram and a pentacle.
Mm-hmm. Because a pentacle is just the star within the circle, which is representative of the harmony of the 5 elements: earth, air, fire, water, spirit, blah, 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 blah. Sorry, pagan. Hi.
I know. But whatever it was used for wasn't good.
So
That's
you're
the thing.
saying, so you're saying that they were putting
that shit right,
demonic vibes into the 3-headed table.
Yeah. And it's actually a biblical beast, like supposedly. Like I forgot what it was.
Yeah, I mean the only thing that I can think of with 3 heads is either a chimera or the Hound of Hell with Cerberus, but both of those aren't Christian based.
No, it was like they were cats. I'm pretty sure.
It would be. There is one in. Well, there is a multi-headed being in the book of Revelations, which is the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns. That's the only one I can think of that's a multi-headed beast.
The one that Jezebel rides?
The one that it's the one in the Beast and the Harlot story, like the story of the like where they talk about the harlot coming in.
Yeah, that's the one that Jezebel rides. And hi, Buzz. Yeah, John Doe, you're right. The pentagram is to represent the goat's head, which is usually Baphomet or also Cernunnos, both of which were the goat-headed gods of certain pagan cultures. But yeah, no, a lot of Satanists use those symbols, and a lot of it has turned because one of the first uses of the 5-pointed star with the point up, was in an old Christian text, I believe, that somebody, I'm trying to remember, but thinking is hard. And but yeah, so they used it, the inverted, and so that's why it's become such a symbol of evil. But it's a multi-headed feline, and I wouldn't say that's a manticore, although it could be a manticore.
No,
That
I thought
was more.
Manticore was a single head, where the
Hold on, I'll
chimeras
be right
have
back.
the 3 heads of the lion, the serpent, and the goat.
Was it lion, serpent, and goat,
I
or
know
lion?
it's a mixture of many different animals, but again, that's also more Greek.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember because I'm Catholic myself, so I mean, I know like a bunch of this stuff uh, with at least the Satanists is just kind of like reversing kind of the Catholic Christian church kind of thing, where it's like, so like that's why there's like the upside down cross is kind of like the symbol, like the
Mhm.
upside down cross, the upside down um, 5-pointed star. Um, a lot of that is
Okay, here's the. This is Revelations 13:1. Then I saw a beast with 10 horns and 7 heads rising out of the sea. There were 10 royal crowns on its head, and blasphemous names on its head. The beast I saw was like a leopard, with the feet of a bear and the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave the beast his power and throne and great authority.
that would be the beast.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
And then Dio came out and played a concert.
but well, we're missing the point of the story. The point is, and I do believe that certain symbols are used in a negative fashion. And just like if you think of the swastika, that wasn't always a bad symbol.
Well,
Until
technically,
it was used as a representative for bad people who would use that for bad,
well,
like
it's still used by Indian culture, but it depends on whether or not you have it going to the left or going to the right.
Yeah,
and it's the same with the star. It's still used for especially pagan practices. It just matters on whether it's pointed up or pointed down, and the one that she's talking about is the one that's pointed down, which is used in a lot of whether it be for the scare factor or not, but it's used negatively, for negative people and negative purposes.
Well, I mean, you can go back to the deal with the Christians once they learned about the horned consort. We're like, yep, that's our devil.
Yeah.
well, and I think it's even worth noting that I think I think the swastika is actually good um, way to represent, or a good way to actually um, like a good parallel for it, because at least with this one, like a lot of people will see that whether it's in the way that in the direction that the Hindus have it, or the direction that the Nazis had it, and they won't see any distinction with it. And I think you could even say the same for um, the pentagram, where even if it's right side up, I don't think a whole lot of people would denote a difference because they don't know the origins of the pentagram itself, or even recognize the Christian version of it.
Well, even Christians took um, iconography from the Macedonians, from the Celts, from the Picts. You name it, and they borrowed from it to make their religion.
No,
Slightly changing the stories, of course, but making it familiar to the quote unquote unwashed masses. so they could easily persuade them over to their side. I mean, that's a trick of propaganda that's been used since time immortal.
Mm-hmm.
But I
But
do think that it's still worth at least acknowledging the fact that even it still kind of gets, it's still going to get kind of a, even though that's not the greater point, it's still going to get like a negative vibe out of it either way, whether you're putting.
all right, so as a pagan, I'm gonna throw this out there. Um, most of the point of the symbols is more as a focus, you know,
No,
and
I
if your focus is full of negative intent, then like if you use say an inverted star where the point is down for negative intent, for negative purposes, then that's what it's going to represent, and that's what it's going to be, and that's the feel that it's going to give, and um and that's probably what the dog sensed.
no,
Mhm.
I definitely.
And this thing had a lot of detail. It was handmade.
Mhm.
That's the thing. It wasn't like other tables that you get like in the store, and it
Well,
had like a lot of care to it.
where was the table? Where had they gotten it from?
I think garage sale.
Well, I
Well,
could
you know
definitely.
those garage sales, they
Yeah, you
are
never know what you're gonna get.
they're a den of evil.
I
Do you
mean,
remember the this was about 3 years back, and I think they actually made a movie about it, about a guy who bought it was like a jewelry box, and there was a history to it that it belonged to somebody in the Holocaust, and they brought it over, and the box was supposedly evil, and it made bad things happen wherever it went,
That sounds
and
familiar.
people try and the person who bought it at the garage sale tried to get rid of it, and people would come and they'd get all spooked out about it, and then they go away. God, I wish
Mm.
I could remember what the movie was that it was made up. Uh,
well, I think
Yeah,
that's how a lot of these things get into circulation. At the very least, is that you kind of, it'll go from person to person, like um, just because they don't want to deal with it anymore, they'll just like sell it to someone else.
yeah, exactly.
well, and back way back in the day, me and my big buddy Steve used to uh, do auctions, storage auctions, and industrial auctions, and we'd find all manner of weird shit.
Oh yeah,
And that's one of the biggest ways how shit gets passed along, is that somebody essentially picks up somebody else's shit.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, I think that also is part of the thing as well, is that like you don't, kind of like the not wanting to deal with it kind of thing, where somebody will just like. Are you talking about like the stuff you see like the bid wars kind of thing, where uh, like the stuff you'll see on TV nowadays, where it's like the storage wars kind of stuff?
Yeah, we were doing that a long time ago, but most of the time it wasn't you're buying this you're buying this area. They would just pull shit out. And I tell you, uh, I should never go to auctions, especially estate auctions, drunk, because I always end up with a box of Christmas decorations. Now I did actually get into a thing where, um, estate auctions are essentially selling off the shit from people who died,
And don't have a family to give it
and
to or something like that,
Mhm.
right?
well,
Or
invariably I would spend a lot of time. Because most of the things that people didn't want are Christmas decorations. So yeah, like I'd buy a whole box of old Christmas decorations for like $1. Also, they would put all the family photos, and I don't know why no one took the family photos, but they would have shit tons of family photos, dating back to like the late 1800s sometimes.
Oh wow.
And
Wow.
they were magical. And I had literally a, what is it, 64-gallon storage tub, filled with all these pictures because I found them fascinating. And then of course the roof caved in on the first flood, and yeah, that box filled up with water, and all those memories were gone. But I couldn't imagine people discarding what their history was. That's why I've spent so much time going through all my mom's pictures, and regardless of what they are, scanning them in, because now we've got a digital history I've got stored up in the cloud, and anybody in the family who wants to pull it down can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the one, then again, who invariably, when you go to a funeral, they have the little slideshow of the person's life.
Yeah.
I've done
You
5 of
got
those
them covered.
fucking things in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but it's something that I can do, and I think especially if I knew the person, I can do justice to him.
Definitely. Yeah.
I got another story, but it's a little better.
I was gonna just
Well, the
comment.
last one wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
was just
it's happened to a friend when he lived in Mexico in Puerto Vallarta. Uh, he used to live in a house, like kind of on the outside outskirts of the city of the town, and um, it used to be a riverbed, but after the riverbed dried up, it was used as like a pathway to get to the church. So when the dead die, they take them from the church across the city to the graveyard. They would walk with the casket.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
procession.
yes. And so the house was built in the middle of that old walkway. And so my friend, he was like what is the how old he was? He was a kid. Let's just say that. And like uh from across the room, his mom would wake up in the middle of the night and see a woman petting his head, just petting his head, and sometimes he would like go like, kids like having their head scratched and stuff like that. And so he's like, "Ma, stop!" And she's across the room, and this lady would just like pet his head and then get up and then walk uh across the room into the wall every night. And he wasn't aware of this until years later when his mom told him about the lady. Yeah. Nothing bad happened. Like people would, or not people, well, yeah, people technically. Ghosts would walk through the house constantly because that was the old walkway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, Tennessee Marine was saying, just like Satan worshippers use an upside down cross, it's just a way to corrupt the original meaning.
Mm-hmm.
That's essentially the idea behind it. I've looked into it a little bit just because I was exceedingly curious, and I also watched a little bit of Stick, Sax, and Hammer, and he kind of does a little bit of that stuff on his channel as well as the other stuff he discusses. So I kind of found out about it either way. But yeah, I was gonna. There was something with the picture thing you mentioned, Doc. I just found that I don't know. I find that exceedingly interesting, just because it's like those are one of the things where, because I'm guessing that was were the pictures you got like pictures from other people's families, or like just your family, or
No, I
just
would no, I would go to these estate auctions and I would buy other people's pictures. I mean, nobody else wanted them, and you could get a huge box full of pictures for a quarter, 50 cents. You know, it's
yeah,
it's it's legit. You know, because they know the things that aren't going to sell, and so you end up buying these what should be special memories, or at least, I mean, it's your goddamn history.
yeah.
And
Well, that's what I'm thinking. Like it's almost like I don't know. It's one of those things where you don't really ever think about somebody else like coming in, like getting them. Like you usually think like it's gonna be like a family member's gonna get that because it's one of those things where it's I don't know, just part of your well, like you said, part of your history. But like I don't know.
well, here's the sad truth. The people who really want something, the greedy bastards that are part of the family, they'll come in and pick the corpse as quickly as possible because they're looking for monetary value.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of times old people's pictures just go by the wayside because it doesn't have any monetary value.
See, that's just I don't know.
It's
It
cool.
that's all. Well, it's weird for me just because that's just the family I was raised in. At least kind of I don't know. We at least gave a I guess we'll give a shit about family kind of thing, and like there's like stuff that we like when relatives have died that we've gotten for just sentimental kind of value kind of thing, or like there's one that's just like a chessboard where it's kind of like up for grabs, where like if you beat the person who has it um, currently, then you get to keep the chessboard. And it was a heirloom of my great grandmother. That
Huh?
like that kind of thing. Like it's almost just kind of like weird for me just hearing like that kind of shit is just how the those families are.
Yeah. Well, that shit happens all the time. It's sad but true.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like I said, nowadays society is geared to the fact of what has value monetarily than spiritually.
Hmm.
Because I think one of the coolest pictures that I have, and I may post it sometime, is a picture of my grandmother when she was getting ready to die. She's part Blackfoot and Shoshone, so she was pure blood, and uh, she converted to Christianity, and she was Pentecostal apostolic, and one of the old lines from the Old Testament was, for the glory of a woman is her hair. Well, when she converted, she never cut her hair. So when she died, and she died when she was about 100 and I think she was 102,
So she
and
was well seasoned.
her hair was literally down to the floor. And I have a picture of her sitting in her deathbed. She hadn't passed yet. She was sitting up, had a big Bible in her lap, and one of the first and only times that I'd ever seen it, she let her hair down, and her hair was solid white, and it cascaded across the bed and down to the floor. And that's a picture to me that's amazing. And uh, I don't know, there's just so much history in it as you look at it. And I'm glad that it's around because if I show it to anybody, I can explain the story. But if that picture just would have been tossed out and somebody would have picked it up at an auction, in a box of pictures for 50 cents, they'd be curious as to what this picture was, what the story is behind it. And I think that's the responsibility of the generations that come afterwards, is the ability to, here's this picture of my grandmother, my great great grandfather, whatever, and being able to explain the story. Now, some stories might not be as captivating as others, but uh, it it helps to keep the relevance of the previous generations alive, I think.
Well, and I think it's even I think it's a testament to how much has progressed. Because I think, at least with, if you just look at a lot of early human history, like a lot of the stories from, well, at least for me, the ones that come to mind for me are the Bible stuff. A lot of
Cat,
the like oral
Yes.
tradition kind of.
time to die.
Sorry.
What?
A lot of those were oral tradition kind of stories passed down for generations, and the people who ended up writing them were those who had remembered it and were able to pass it down. And when with the invention of writing, it kind of takes away that like need to remember. Like the fact that we have this technology nowadays only makes that much harder to kind of sit down and focus on that kind of thing, like remembering the stories of your ancestors, frankly.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
like the old Native American saying goes, um, beware where you tread because you're walking on the bones of your ancestors.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, we got more roast, didn't we?
I guess it's fitting for Halloween.
Well, I mean, we were talking about the creepy and the spoopy and all that jazz.
You know, if I thought I had a story short enough, I would read you one of my creepy pastas. I don't think I have anything that short. I do have a micro pasta. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see here. Right
Hey
there.
guys, it's been good hearing from you guys, but I gotta go. I gotta
Oh,
sleep.
no worries. Thanks
Yeah,
for
I gotta-
joining us and sharing your story, Karen.
Thanks for
Yeah.
stopping by, Karen.
It's
I
been nice
appreciate it.
talking about stuff, life and death. So
Mm.
it's been pretty cool. Okay, see you.
Good talking
Later.
to you. See ya.
Bye.
Oh, wait, Shell.
Huh?
Oh, yeah. Do you have any
It-
shillery?
It's just my Twitter, and that's it.
Well, please feel free and drop that into the side chat if you would.
Okay. Yeah. Hold on.
Do I have a copy? I know I've got a copy of it fucking somewhere. Not in the stories file, not in my articles file. Oh, crap. I could read one of Wifey's eroticas.
Oh.
What?
Oh, actually, that's gonna be one of the things that I'm gonna need for whenever I do my ASMR videos. I'm just gonna need some lines from eroticas. I decided that's what I'm gonna do. Like if I'm gonna have to, because I took a poll and it was voted that I have to do the ASMR, and I'm like, if I'm gonna do ASMR, it's gonna be sexy ASMR, you know. And And I'm like, well, how do I make sexy ASMR? Oh, I just talk quietly and I'll read some, you know, little kinky little lines and shit like that from a book. Boom, easy, done.
Okay. Do you want me to do
But
this
what?
one? It's a shorty. This is a what's called a micro pasta.
Do it.
Sure.
Okay.
I gotta go.
Oh, okay, thanks for joining us.
Have a
I'll see
good
you guys
night.
later.
Thanks, Karen.
You too. Bye bye.
Good night.
Wait.
There we go. Okay. I'm going to take a drink of water before I do this. I had to kill a cat, and that's hard work.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
Well, she was fucking with wifey's pill bottles.
Ooh,
So,
no bueno.
death had to come. She requested it. I fulfilled her prayer. So, that also means... Because I think she thinks that they're the pounce jars. And the pounce jars are about the size of the one that she was knocking around. But they're too stupid to get into a jar anyway, so... At least my cats are. This one is called Sometimes I Forget. The doctor said I might have trouble remembering things. They told me chronic traumatic encephalopathy could result in mood swings and lost memory. CTE happens when you have as many concussions as I've had. Sometimes I forget I even played professional football for 8 years. I hear the oven timer ringing in the kitchen. What was I cooking? I'm hungry, but I can't recall setting the timer or putting anything in the oven. I must have. Sometimes I forget and have to set a timer to prevent accidents. I walk into the kitchen. There's light smoke coming from the oven. I rush over and open the oven door. A wave of heat and smoke hit me. Whatever I was cooking is probably burnt and inedible. I go to grab the smoking roaster pan and curse as the hot metal burns my hands. Sometimes I forget why pot holders were invented and I pay the price in second-degree burns. Grabbing a kitchen towel, I quickly pull out the pan and drop it onto the range. I remove the lid to find a partially burnt turkey. Maybe I can salvage a sandwich from the lard bird carcass. I go to grab a knife from the knife block on the counter. I notice the 8-inch chef's knife, my favorite blade to carve, is missing from the block. Did the wife use it and put it in the dishwasher? Did I use it and not put it back? Sometimes I forget and I have to retrace my steps. But what did I do today? I go into the living room and look around. I have no memory if I went to work or it was my day off. This gets me frustrated when I lose time, but I keep hearing the doctors talking about the long-term effects of CTE. The damn furniture doesn't even look familiar. Sometimes I forget a whole day of events and memories filter through my brain like an old movie. I decide to go upstairs and look around. Hopefully that'll jog my Swiss cheese memory. The kids' rooms are unoccupied and messy like always. The bedroom of me and my wife is slightly better, a few clothes scattered about and the bed unmade. Sometimes I forget to make the bed or pick up after myself. As I walk back down, I notice some dark spots staining their way down the gray stair carpeting. It's brownish, like dried chocolate syrup. This irritates me. Cleaning that crap off the carpet is not cheap or easy. Sometimes I forget how my kids fail to respect how good they have it. My hands are blistering from the burn, so I decide to go back to the kitchen for some ice. I feel a little wimpy about such a superficial injury, but I sigh in knowing that if I leave it be, that I might not remember to treat it later. Sometimes I forget to take care of myself and minor wounds eventually become major infections. Getting ice from the freezer, I noticed some dark spots leading into the basement. Now I'm getting pissed. What the hell were those kids doing? Ugh. I try to calm myself by telling my anger that it was on a surface I could easily clean with a wet rag. That is, if I could remember where I put the cleaning supplies. Sometimes I forget where I put things. I decide the logical place for cleaning stuff would be in the basement. This is a small house, so I guess we would maximize our space by keeping that stuff down by the washer and dryer. I get down the steps and I see my wife and 2 kids bound and gagged, tied to the large sewer pipe running across the basement wall. My 2 children are covered in dried chocolate sauce and are not moving. My wife, she's wide-eyed and hoarsely screaming through her gag. Wait. Sometimes I forget that I'm not married, and I never had any kids. I see the chef's knife sticking from the chest of the boy, and slowly pull it from the wound. I wipe it off on a clean part of his shirt. The woman does the only thing she can do as I approach her. She starts kicking at me. I wrap her flailing legs under one of my massive arms and look deeply into her tear-streaming eyes. She knows it's her time, and there's nothing she can do to prevent her death. I raise the knife and plunge it into the soft skin just above her collarbone. The blood wraps around the knife blade and trickles into her blouse where it begins to soak into the cotton. It takes a few moments before her eyes roll back into her head and her body goes limp. Sometimes I forget how enjoyable taking a life can be.
I can't clap loud, but I'm clapping.
You are for giving me the clap. That is wrong.
Well, now I want to hear you read one of my stories.
I can, but I don't know which.
The one that I would want would be, well, there's 2 that I like, that's along the same lines. But I would probably choose the one that I don't know if I ever sent it to you. I probably did. The one called because I didn't have a title.
Now, since I'm on the beast now, I have not pulled it up since I did the transfer. Bear with me and see. Let me see where I can.
No worries.
I think I stashed it in the download file.
And then the other one that I like is Phone Call, but that one I think would have to be a joint effort.
Oh, damn it. Okay, wait a minute.
I know, trying to find it is difficult.
No, not there, not there. Fuck. I know it's on the memory stick.
It would be in the collective works.
What was the title?
UH.
No, the whole document that you'd sent.
Collective works.
Okay. I ain't seeing it. Wait a minute, let's try this. Let's do magic, people.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun dun dun. Yeah. What a twist. I think.
Did you find it?
I'm a looking woman.
Well, look faster, man.
I only got one speed. Oh, what did you? Oh God, she sent me the poem for Little Orphan Annie.
Oh.
Nursey also finally picked an avatar.
Yeah.
She wanted it to be like, you know, semi creepy, like mine, and I'm like, mine's not creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, no, there's Kodama. Save the Kodama for your mama. There's cats laying about. Good God. There's my Doc costume.
Well, here, hold on. I'm seeing if I can get my laptop to not be a slow, creeping douche.
Okay, wait a minute. One more time. What was the name of it?
Should be called Collective Works.
Okay. Hey, there's where I burned my finger.
Hey.
Okay, let's see here. No results found.
It's alright. I'm getting onto Discord and I'm going to just
Good.
send you the two separately.
Good God Almighty.
Alright.
Is it this one? Well, open it, you fucker. Oh, no, that's not it. I'm getting old.
It's okay.
Hey, how's this? For a grocery list. Cherry mango popsicles, sweet tart cherry taffy, orange cream Twizzlers, bullseye caramels, Noosa yogurt, string cheese, Cheez-Its, pepperoni, whipped cream, butter, milk, peanut butter crackers, pork rinds, $1 Nukeable sandwich, some Big K soda, and a Sunny D. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm all the way back to August now, so this is not helpful.
It's okay. I just sent them both to you again separately in Discord.
Goddamn Discord.
I know, but I can't send them via Twitters.
Discord is the double. Okay. Let's see here. So wait a minute. Are you gonna read the female one, the female part on it?
On the first one, yeah.
Okay. On
No. It should, I think, should just be read purely by a male. But if you want me to read the female dialogue, that'll work too.
Well, yeah, that's what I was getting to.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
John Doe, you stubborn ass.
So, do you want me to do phone call first?
Yeah.
Should I use the Bane voice for the muffled voice?
if you want, sure. But
I think that this one's just a straight read.
This one's not quite for phone call.
Yeah.
Not quite. The first half is definitely from a female's perspective.
So
and actually based on a true story for the first half.
So you want to read this one yourself then?
At least for the first half, yes.
So after the asterisks?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you want me to read?
Yeah, if you want to do the muffled voice, that'd be great, though.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Yeah.
Only then you will have my permission to die.
Yeah, that'll work.
No, I know how to do a muffled voice. I was an actor once in a really bad movie.
Oh, closest to a muffled voice I know how to
Okay.
do without putting something in my mouth. Is what I like to call my drive-through voice.
The
Oh no.
and that ding means it's reconnected. My OBS. Yeah, looks like everything's okay. Can everybody still hear out there? I'm not getting any responses, but I am.
Well, we're on the delay.
Yeah, but I am on the delay, so.
Well, I mean, it looks like it's still running.
Yeah.
You are still live, John Doe says.
And by the way, the moment that I pulled up Discord, automatically YouTube told me that the stream strength is bad. So fuck you, Discord, and the evil cancerous shit that you bring. So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap with one of these, shall we?
Well, which one do you want first?
The one you sent first. Phone call.
Okay. And you're gonna do the muffled voice on the other end?
I will do the muffled voice.
Okay. This is called phone call. And again, the first half is based on a true story. Every morning for the past month, I would get a missed call from the same number. I tried calling it back, but it would just ring and ring with no answer. No voicemail is left telling me what this person wants, though I can only assume it must be one of those telemarketers, even though it's a local number. I've tried looking it up with my limited resources, but to no avail. I'd never been able to answer the call in time, since I'm usually stuck in a deep sleep when I'm awakened by the ringing. But today was different. I was actually awake enough to get to it. Probably due to my weird nightmares of people trying to grab me and the whacked out sleep I'd been having for the past week, leaving me with strange delusions in a daydream state the past week. I picked it up with, "Yes?" A muffled voice on the other end of the line calls out,
Diana! Diana, are you there?
I sigh. There's no one here by that name. I'm sorry.
Well, who is this?
The voice asked, sounding distant, probably due to bad reception. That question got me angry, so I snapped. This is the person whose sleep you've been disturbing every morning for the past month, and I'd like you to remove this number from your call list. Thanks, I said, the last bit with biting sarcasm before I clicked end.
Oh, it's me next.
Yes.
Okay. There had finally been a breakthrough. One could call it such. She had been going through something odd. The doctors had no idea what it was. When the accident happened, she had fallen into a coma, which had led to concern of her mind. I had been warned that she may never come out of it, which could damage her brain. I never lost hope until she woke up. She had been showing brain activity the last month, and it had increased in the last week. Finally, after so long, her eyes had opened, though she said nothing. Diana! Diana, are you there? I called hopefully. Her eyes shifted at the sound of my voice, and I became elated. But her eyes darkened, and she stared in my direction with a far-off look.
There's no one here by that name. I'm sorry.
I stared in shock as her face shifted. Well, who is this? I asked carefully. Her voice growled.
This is the person whose sleep you've been disturbing every morning for the past month, and I'd like you to remove this number from your call list. Thanks.
Click.
Yeah, so the first half, like I said, is based on a true story that had been happening to me where I kept getting this missed call from the same number. No voicemail, nothing. And when I would try to call it back, nothing. And it had been happening for like a month. And then finally, like I'm just awake enough at the point when I get the phone call to answer it, and you know, guys like, Diana, are you there? And it sounded so far away and so distant and so muffled. And I'm like, there's no one here by that name. And it's like, well, then who's this? I'm like, excuse you, you called my number. Like,
Well,
if I
now,
don't sound like if I sound like Diana, then I could understand, but I don't, so you can go and fuck off.
well, now, did you ever read the story that I sent you?
I was having trouble getting the PDF to open, but I finally got it. No, I finally got it, and it's downloaded, and I put it on a thumb drive.
That's not reading it, by the way. Just
No, it's not.
thought I'd
but
mention that.
Don't worry, it's gonna get read.
Mm.
Neither now, you cheeky bastard.
Yeah.
wanna
Fuck
read-
that Discord.
You want to read
Oh, hey, and by the way, when I close Discord, guess what? Stream status is okay now.
Your computer hates Discord.
Yeah. It is evil. I'm sure if you took Discord apart, you would find pentagrams in the joices. Okay, let me pull it up. Okay. So yeah, you gonna drop the chick parts in there for me?
Sure.
Because that's what a good production does. And
Hex fell asleep.
so right now, you should be
He
able.
pulled a me.
Huh?
He pulled a me. We cured his insomnia.
Yes, another happy patient. No, John, because it's probably the best story that I personally think that I've written. There's one other one that's pretty damn good, but it was written as a radio drama. Oh, happy is the head that wears the crown. Should, I can't pot him down because I'm running through the OBS. Can I? Do I have the ability? I don't even think I have the ability to mute when I'm doing it this way.
Yeah, no. Because I just tried muting him. Oh well, he'll make a great background ambiance.
Okay. So yes, there is a sleeping Wookiee.
Hmm.
Did you want to title this before we do it?
No, I have no title for it. I don't know what to call it. So that's why it's under because that's the closest to a title I could get. Most because this story, I liked it a lot.
But before we start, the people who are left watching, can we get some F's in the chat for our poor, dearly departed Hex?
I'll start it off.
Somebody get that grizzly bear out of here. It feels good. We're helping people.
Oh, right? Oh, we do such good things.
Although I'm sitting there watching the scroll on it, and I'm picturing him being one of those insomniacs. That's finally gotten his due. Okay. Let me get a drink of water, and we'll do this.
Alrighty.
They used to get mad at me because when I did voiceovers, I would tuck in a piece of hard candy, like you're sticking in a pinch of dip. But it kept me lubed. Okay, here we go. Hexagonal Lamb Snoring Theater proudly presents. That's right, Hex. She lay there. Oh, God. Okay, let me try this again. She lay there, looking absolutely delectable. She panted, her soft breasts shivering with every breath.
Please.
She whimpered. I ran a hand through her silky ginger hair as I placed a kiss to her lips, an unspoken promise that I will finish her soon. I caressed her slick body, enjoying the sensation of her shivering beneath my touch. I had found her at a bar, throwing herself at any man who would give her a second glance. She kissed me with her vodka tongue when I had offered to buy her a drink. That was when I knew she was the one. She had given herself willingly to me in a moment's breath, all because I spent some money. We did not seal anything that night, no. I wanted to wait.
For you, it'll only be 20.
She said in a drunken slur as she pried at my pants. No, my dear. I don't have the time to truly enjoy you for the night. Will you be here tomorrow? I had asked. She bit her glossy lip in a contemplative gesture before shaking her head. She had school, so she couldn't. She had been struggling to pay her bills, so she had decided that it was better to sell herself in the night to make the money she needed. It wrenched my heart to hear that. She was another victim of the system. The lies of go to school, get a job, get a house, finish school, get a better job, live the dream. And I was the one to save her. I'd given her $100 that night before departing, hoping that it would help. And maybe even bring her back to me. It was only a couple of days before I saw her again, strutting down the streets towards the bar in too high of heels, too short of skirt, and too low cut a top, ready for another night of attempted sales. Her eyes brightened at the sight of me, and she hurried over as I was getting out of my car. She planted her mouth on mine, pulling me down an alley.
I owe you,
she said, dropping to her knees and tugging at my slacks. I grabbed her by the wrists and yanked her up. No. I told her in a heated whisper. She bit her lip and looked at me with those bright blue eyes that had begun to fill with tears at my rejection. Not here, I said, cracking a smile and leading her back to my car. I drove her to my house, where she gasped in awe.
This is a friggin' mansion.
She commented. I chuckled as I unlocked the door and brought her inside. I let her wander a bit, opening a bottle of wine for her. I knew when she had found my room.
Whoa.
I heard her voice echo from down the hall.
Are you into that 50 Shades kink, like some Christian Grey or something?
I walked down to where she was standing in the doorway. Kind of. I confirmed a smile crept to my face as I watched her walk in and inspect the straps on my bed. I handed her the bottle of wine, which she started chugging heartily.
I'm totally down for this, but, well, I don't know what I should charge. I mean, I do owe you and everything, but I don't know.
She admitted. Well, why don't we give it a try? I'll pay whatever. It doesn't matter to me. I told her as I began unbuttoning my shirt. She looked back at me and her eyes widened as I removed my shirt. To say that I'm fit would be accurate. Having a body like I did helped me get women who would satiate my appetite and bend to my whims. Paid or not, she was no exception, and she began stripping down as well. She crawled onto the bed and waited, her nervousness tearing away at her attempt to look seductive. I crawled over her and locked her wrists before pulling her ankles down to the other end and locking them in place as well. Then I opened my armoire and heard her gasp, making me smile.
What is this? What are those?
She asked, a hint of panic in her voice. I pulled out a serrated talon knife from my collection. This, I told her as I held it up, is my kink. I guess you could say it's my 50 blades of gray. I said with a laugh at my own cleverness.
Wait, no, I don't. I'm not going to do the scream right now. I'm going to wake everybody up.
Okay, well, we'll wait till he snores again. That's the scream. She screamed as I made the slow first slice. I made sure not to go too deep at first. When I did start digging in, I made sure to avoid the major arteries. With each scream, I got harder and harder. It was as if her pain fueled me. She struggled against her restraints in the beginning, which turned me on even more. I was aching a bit from throbbing so hard for so long without release. Are you ready for me? I think you're ready for me, I whispered as the last deep cut in her thigh resulted in barely a sob.
Please.
She snored. I ran a hand through her silky ginger hair as I placed a kiss to her lips, an unspoken promise that I will finish her soon. I caressed her slick body, enjoying the sensation of her shivering beneath my touch. I placed the knife against her throat as I entered her, thrusting hard as I watched the blade make the smallest cut. I held back, careful not to press any harder as I pounded her. It was difficult, but it was a test of ultimate control, and I knew in my heart she was the only one. The others I had lost control and sliced too soon, taking their life before my climax. But this one would be it. I would be able to hold her off. I pumped her blood, helping to keep her slick for me until the final moment. I could feel my rise, and that's when I pulled the knife across her throat. Her body went into its death convulsion, bringing me ecstasy as I finished inside her, the ultimate culmination of making life and taking life all in one. I collapsed on top of her, fully satiated for the first time. And I fell asleep inside of her, and I snored a lot.
So much snoring.
If you're
Just
happy and you
imagine
know it,
each
snore
snore
a
is a
lot.
scream.
And if you're happy and you know it, snore a lot. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, if you're happy and you know it, snore a lot.
That was so perfect.
Actually, Furry, my wife snores. Not chainsaw like what we're listening to, but she has a little bit of a deep rasp. And yeah, I've kind of gotten used to it, and I have a hard time sleeping if it's not there. I still sleep with white noise. I've got thunderstorm tape that I made a few years back. Well, now it's a CD, but yeah, I'm a fan of the white noise. Although it's not going to inspire me to sleep with Hex. He gotta get his own booty. I'm married. So, it is a little bit after 5. Aren't we supposed to be kind of trying to trim these down so we can get you on a good sleep schedule?
Yeah, we're trying. We're failing miserably, but we're trying.
Well, yeah, this is a 3-hour run. Well, 3 hours and 18 minutes. Oh man, I should really let you read Closing Time.
Closing time.
That's a fun story. It's a female lead as well. It's so funny when we go to do all these records. It's really hard to find a female. There's only like, I think there's like 15 or 16 males, but there's only like, I think depending on the cast. I haven't seen the cast list in a while. I haven't seen our VO list. There's usually only about maybe 3 to 5 women at any given time on the list. Because, of course, most of the people who are out there writing the creepypastas and the short horror stories are males. But, yeah, that story initially, my wife came up with the concept, and she wrote it. Now, she's a good erotica writer, but as far as pacing goes, she's got a definite issue. Plus, I'll admit it because I've told this to her face. The ending just sucked. It was one you'd find in an 80s horror movie. And so I went in and I rewrote it, and I think it turned out to be a pretty good story. I still I haven't released it to anybody because I might actually get a cast together and do it. But then again, I've got stories loaned out to specific people saying, you guys are the only ones who are allowed to do this. Unless you decide not to do it, then it comes back to me and I'll find somebody else. One of the guys who's going to be on soon, he's not only a voiceover guy, but he's also a very, very good producer. He's a terrific sound engineer, and I know he'll do great on it. He did one called Insomnia, and he knocked that shit out of the park. That was a brilliant read. Let's see here. Wait a minute. This one you read hit the spot.
The last one.
Yeah, I would only make minor tweaks to it.
Oh yeah.
Just to get the bloodlust part, but I saw exactly where you're going, trying to make the narration cyclical.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that's fun to do.
I wanted to do the full circle thing with it, as well as not make it too obvious as to what was going on, but have it have that whole little hint of like, oh, this is gonna get real kinky, and oh, it's getting a little romantic. Oh, it's getting kinky again. Oh, it's getting. Oh, okay, all right. Because the way that I meant for him to be wasn't necessarily bloodlusty. It's really it's the thing that he wanted for his release, you know? Like that's the only way he can come.
Yeah, I couldn't. I'm too tired to fake an orgasm.
It's okay.
And yes, men can fake orgasms.
Yes, they can. We actually had on Not Safe for Wednesday a male version of the fake orgasm Olympics.
And who participated in said Olympics?
Let's see. We had Little J Moxley, Mad Metal Man, Antihero. Oh, that one was so good.
Bias.
I know, and I was one of the judges too, so I had to try and fight against my bias. And then some other. I think we had Diamondus Anubis.
Well,
yeah, I mainly remember the top three, which was Mad Metal Man, Little J, and Antihero.
And who won?
Little J.
By the way, I am hoping that Hisugi was in the audience.
I'm hoping so too, but I don't think she was at that moment. But I think she may have listened to it later on
and replayed it again and again and again just to hear Mad Metal Man.
I mean, I may have done that myself, but not for Mad Metal Man.
Hey, you know, you do you, boo.
Again, there might have been a slight bias.
Again, yeah, possibly. Well, it's funny because when Wicked and I started off our relationship, one of her favorite things was to have me do video clips of me pleasuring myself, and of course she returned the favor too. And you know, when we die, we're gonna put that in the scrapbook and pass it down to the kids.
Well, for their history.
Yeah, because and I will give you this. Those of my audience, apparently, the audience, the heavy demographic is between 25 to 35. I will say this, and I will stand behind it. Fuck while you can, and get it on camera. Because you want to look back favorably. Bear with me here a second. Hold on.
No worries.
Okay. Yes, that's something that you will regret. I know there was a couple of actresses that did Playboy. Back in the time where serious actresses didn't get nude. But there were some actresses that are like, you know what? I want to have this. because for when I get older, I can look back and say, God damn, I was hot. You know, I was in the pages of Playboy. You know, which, you know, through the 60s, 70s, and 80s, that was pretty much the standard bearer of what was sexy.
Mm-hmm.
I really just want to go over and pinch his nose.
Right?
Have him go.
See, I'm not much of a put me on camera kind of person. It's, it's definitely a thing that I've been working on,
Well,
especially considering like how like how anti-hero and I could be. But I've sent him little things here and there that are reserved for him.
Well, yeah. Well, let's put it this way: I've shot a movie, and I'm not looking to critique anybody's porn because it's all subjective.
Yeah.
Although I did tell you that somebody actually sent me titties.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was casually surprised, and I had to call wifey over. I was like, "Look what I got sent." She goes, "Oh, those aren't bad." So I think it proves the theory that it doesn't make a difference, gay or straight. Everybody loves titties.
Oh, that is a fucking thing. I have yet to meet a single person, gay, straight, male, female, doesn't matter, who does not like titties.
I mean, if I had my druthers, you know, I love to do the duty to that booty, but you know, I don't look at titties and go, ugh. Unless somebody showed me porn where it was an 80-year-old woman fucking, and you know, when you're 80, everything slides like an avalanche, and she wasn't looking too good. Now here's the best part of the porn. The guy could not keep it up.
Oh wow.
He apparently he was against this, and it showed. Because I mean, brother was pushing rope. It was sad, but it happened.
Well, they got Viagra now, so.
Well, I guess that's going to be a story for later. But I actually do have a Viagra story.
Oh.
Just think, if Hex had a girlfriend, she'd be sitting on that face wiggling.
And he'd be suffocating.
It's almost like riding a Harley. Yeah, I think we might have even put the audience to sleep at this point.
I know. All right, we'll cut it. We'll cut it now.
Yeah, because literally nobody else is on. And yeah. Yeah, I think I believe we should probably do the REO Speedwagon. I made you laugh, but you made me cry. I believe it's time for me to fly. So, you got a shill, girl.
I'm on Doc's stream.
Buzz said, "Has the tree fallen yet?"
But I do this with Doc. Every once in a while, whenever we do it, we're trying to cut it down short. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out. We'll get it there. Maybe baby steps, but we'll definitely get it there.
Yeah, eventually. If anything, hopefully we'll at least get some people who can be on longer than I could in about a week. Oh my god. But I'm also on Not Safe for Wednesdays here. That's actually to one of the streams, as well as hold on. Every once in a while, we're also on with Lo-Fi, and she's on Twitter at quite_kelp, and I'll post that in a sec. But we also wind up doing the streams on here. That's again another link to one of these streams. That's under Anti-Hero Broadcast, and you can actually follow him on Twitter at Anti-Hero Cast. I'll post both of their tweeters as well. But yeah, that's me.
That's not her snoring.
No.
Oh my.
Yeah, he's going. He's going good.
And yeah, now that I've got this OBS thingy running, there's what's coming up. For the Doctor on Call. Doctor on Call, the cure for the common interview. Jim Wynorski's going to be on the first week. On the 13th, we'll be having Ginger Lynn. Of course, Random Encounters. If you guys haven't checked out Random Encounters, please do so. They are a lot of fun. I especially like the mini musical they made for Friday the 13th, the game. And, of course, we'll be having on... wanted to have him on a little bit earlier, but, for October, for the scary stuff. But I think it'll be fun having him on anyway. Maybe we can have a post-Thanksgiving Fright Night. And then I killed it. And... where's the other one? Jesus, Maddie and Joseph. And we'll put the slideshow to rest. You are staring deeply, deeply into the psycho spinner that will make you sleepy. Or, if you're just waking up, the colors will be so fantastic that you'll be ready to start your morning. Any way it goes, I would like to thank the guests who came on this evening. The Coon of Doom himself, Ichabod Orange. Blackout. Karen D. And Hexagonal Lamb and his family of Wookiees. And, of course, I would also like to thank my benevolent and wonderful co-host, Kadan. And hopefully everybody's going to have a great, productive day today. Get things done. Be happy about what you're doing. Be satisfied. And, well, I guess as for me, well, I'm going to bed, fuckers. Bye.
Later.